And we are live. Hello, 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 hello. Hello there, everyone. Hello. Thank you for coming on in and joining us for another installment of Dishing Tea Entertainment. This is Dishing Tea with Big Meech, and I have my co-host with me, of course, honey. And this is another episode of the Corona Chronicles and Carrying On, darlings. Come on up in here. Come on up in here. Come on up in here. Okay. And let's do this thing. You understand? Let's do this thing up in here. I'm going to encourage you guys to put all of your comments down here in the comment section. We are going to make sure that we are able to interact with you and make sure that your voices are heard, okay? Oh my goodness, is my granddaughter up in here? Granddaughter? The granddaughter? Okay, the granddaughter. Just, hello there, G-Ma. Hi, granddaughter. Okay, niece, granddaughter. Okay, that's my grand, honey. Okay, that's real cute. That's real cute that I got that coming on up in here because it's a heavy week. It's a real heavy week. And today, my darlings, we're gonna sit down and try to do a few things. Okay, I see you. Yeah, y'all coming up in here, honey. Share, like, subscribe, and all of those good things. And all of that. Now, before we go any further, I want to take this time. I want to say hello to I'm going to make her one of my sponsors and carry it on because I'm so in love with her drinks. Y'all know I talk about Fourth Ward Originals. Wait a minute, make sure it's in the camera, right? Fourth Ward Originals, honey. The squeezy drinks, darlings. Yeah. This girl here, this is Miss BB Red, honey, over here in the Fourth Ward. Darling, when I tell you these cocktails, honey, are not to be played with, I mean it from the bottom of the depths of my soul. You understand? Now, y'all see this cute little handy little squeeze bottle? Yes, little ketchup and mustard little squeeze bottle with the little, you automatic carrying little case right there. Child, I'm telling you, girlfriend puts these concoctions together for your nerve. You understand me? Now these are the adult drinks because of the names on them, honey. This one is called Slob on That Dick. And this one is called... This one is called Spread Those Cheeks. Yes. Now, I had a couple of more, honey, but the other ones are gone. So these are the ones that I have left. Okay. And then what I love about these is that because it's in a squeeze bottle, so you just pop it off. It comes with this automatic top, so you can preserve the top. And then, of course, damn. Ooh. That is so right. That is so damn right. Because it's just that little hit, right? And it sits up there and just gets you right together. Now, I just took this out the freezer. Now, I didn't get it real slushy, but it's real cold. But I'm going to tell you, if you get it slushy, that's a whole nother experience. You understand? But I'm telling you, girlfriend does these things very well, honey. She gets you right together. And for that, let me put her down here so I can talk about her just one more time. This here is Squeezes by BB Red, honey. This is Fourth Ward Originals, okay? That's the name of the company. You see what's scrolling down there? Give her a call right there, 678-632-2774. That's 678-632-2774. Or you can find her on Instagram at Squeezes by BB Red. Honey, tell her Big Meat sent you. And honey, order to until your heart is content. You go online, honey, go on Instagram, you'll find all of the flavors that she has available. I'm going to tell you right now, this Slob on That Dick, honey, is tequila. Okay. The one that was eating my pussy was Hennessy, I think it was. This one here is also a tequila mix. This has got some. I know it got some coconut rum and stuff in it because I taste all that coconut and stuff in this one too. So when I tell you, she ain't no joke. She ain't no joke, honey. You understand? And yeah, I'm having a good time with her. So, honey, go over there, give her a call or shoot her or follow her on Instagram and tell her Big Meat sent you. And let's do the damn thing, okay? All right. Now, let's see. Wait a minute. Oh, wait. Lewis, you done bought a basket? What you say? Please support her, a black business. Wait a minute. Because you said I bought a basket. Oh, you need to put that down there in the comments. Put that down there and tell everybody. Oh, wait, what you just did. What you say? Just let it bust in your mouth. You said, oh, that's what I'm talking about, darling. So, see, you understand the experience. Wait a minute, I'm going to do that one more time for the people because, see, yeah. Ooh. Ooh. And it don't take, see, she does these so well. So you could ride this girl all night. You understand? Just a little pop. About 4 or 5 little pops, honey, you are good. You are good. You are good to go. You understand? You are really, really good to go. Oh, my God. This is absolute, just absolute everything, child. Here. Absolute everything. I'm telling you, honey, yeah. Oh, what you say? Wait a minute. My sister loves her. Really? So the sister, you know what? Y'all better do that thing. Okay. Lewis is just promoting the hell out there. He said, it don't take much. It doesn't do. Okay, now see, that's why I need those testimonials like that because y'all don't think I'm just trying to push it. And no, I'm telling you, honey, it is really, really cute. It is a really, 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 really cute thing, child. And so you can take it and share it with your friends. You know how everybody always want to, oh, let me try that drink. Let me try that. See? Just take, pop that bitch. Ain't got to worry about the corona or nothing, child. Ain't got to put your lips on it. Oh, okay, let me slow down. Okay. Will she ship to another state? Call her and find out, Roderick. Give her a call. Hit her up on Instagram. She can answer all those questions for you. Okay. So, yes. Okay, what we got here? Let me show that. That's my cousin. You so sad. But I'm telling the truth. I'm telling the truth. That's my little cousin right there, y'all. Okay, now listen, let's get into it because we're finna get ready to get real serious. I'm glad that we had this little time right here to just, kick and have little shits and giggles and carrying on. And all of that. Wait a minute, the question is, y'all safe down there? Yeah, I love you too, little cuz. I ain't got no choice but to be safe. It's just one of me. So I ain't got no choice. I ain't got no choice here. But here, let's get into this because there's a few things that I need to discuss and I just need to get up off of me because I have been heavy emotionally because as a black man in this country, as a black gay man in this country, it has just been completely overwhelming for me. And it's been heavy on my soul to see what we're going through. I've been on this planet for 50 years, 50 whole years. And I have been through some things. I have seen a couple of things. We have lived through the Rodney King riots. We have lived through just a lot of little pops and upsets and shits that we have had. I've been marching for gay rights and gay equality and stuff, and I've had to fight that particular fight as well. And so just the stuff that I've seen, being a black man in this country, we are really an endangered species, and it just hurts my soul that everything that we're going through right now, it is necessary, unfortunately. I have mixed feelings on it. Because in one instance, I'm saying it's necessary. In another instance, I'm saying it don't have to be this way. So it's like, where do we go from here? How do we do this? How do we get this thing together? And I wept. I wanted to hear my mother's voice today Because they, of course, the media keep playing and playing and playing this goddamn clip. And I have not watched the whole 10-minute taping of that, because it would just destroy me to hear this 46-year-old man holler for his mother, who was already deceased. You understand? His mother was already dead. And in his anguish, he called out to his mother for help. And that's real heavy. In addition to that, let me move a little closer. In addition to that, we had a trans man who was shot and killed by police in Tallahassee, Florida, maybe a day or two after all of this. Okay? And it got swept up under the carpet for a couple of reasons. One, because we were so outraged with seeing what happened with George, to where we couldn't see anything else, because all we have in our faces is that image, and watching him for 10 minutes in that tape. Okay? The other thing is that because this is a trans man, anything that deals with LGBT, and then this is a Black trans man on top of it, the LGBT issues doesn't seem to get the headlines like that, especially when Blacks are rioting or Blacks are hurt, because it comes across as the LGBT community is trying to usurp something. You understand? And that's not the case. But because we're all hurt, and because we're in pain, and because we see this for what it is, it appears that way, and then we get our signals crossed and turned, and nothing happens. Okay? Now, I just found out that another man was killed. This here, he called himself Barbecue David. He's out of Louisville, Kentucky. Okay? And what makes this so that way, excuse me, is that, wait a minute. Oh, don't you hate that? What makes it so that way is he was there to feed the people. He was there catering. He was there showing his support, lending his catering services and carrying on, and was out there amongst the people doing what he does best, barbecue. Now, the story says that someone had fired a weapon of some sort toward the police officers. That's the way how I read this. I could be wrong. And in retaliation, not only the police, but also the National Guard fired back. Barbecue David was part of the crossfire. His name was David McTade, I believe that's yeah, I got to look that up. McTade, Louisville, Kentucky. Okay. I believe he was 53 years young. And they had to call his mother to tell her, and she had to come down there to see him. But because they had to wait for the coroners, remember how was it Mike Brown, I believe? The teenager that they kept in the street when they shot him dead like that and kept him in the street. You understand? And carrying on. And everybody was wondering how come they couldn't cover him up, because they had to wait for the coroners to get there. Well, this is what happened with him. So they said that body was out there for like 13 hours. Just out there. Dead at the hands of the police officers, because he got caught in the crossfire. So having said all that, I just wept earlier today. I just couldn't do nothing. I just broke down because I'm tired. I am tired. I'm aggravated. I really and truly wonder what is going on in this particular world and where is the mindset of some of these people. And like I said, I wanted to call my mother, but my she was in the hospital because the riots and stuff had upset her, and she ended up having also issues and carrying on that sent her to the hospital. So, and me trying to call her, I'm not sure if she's still there or if she was just resting. But I couldn't talk to her like I wanted to. And then I wanted to call my dad, but I didn't call my dad because my dad isn't one of those emotional kind of guys. Okay, he's a man's man. You know, he likes to deal with shit internally and carrying on, which is not necessarily a good thing, but that's him. And in that, I just felt so isolated. And of course, we're on quarantine and things. And I'm asthmatic, so I'm one of the at-risk people because this is still a respiratory virus. Okay, so I'm quarantined still and carrying on. So it's just a lot, and it weighs heavy. It weighs so heavy, and in that, I want to take time out, and I'm going to bring in my co-host in just a second because we keep saying that okay, we need better leadership. We need to make sure that that these kids understand that looting isn't the answer, and blah 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 blah. But at the same time, what we do know is it is the squeaky wheel that gets the grease. And oftentimes, as we all know, and this is on every facet of life, you know, when you talk nice, when you talk kindly, when you use proper English, when your diction is perfect, when you sit down there and be like, you know what, I have a disagreement with you. Please, can we sit down and talk about this? Because I do not like how you said that to me. You know, you're disrespecting me, and I would like to bring some peace about this. When every time we go like that, that seems to seem as though we become pushovers. But when we get in the motherfucker's face, we're like, bitch, if you say that bullshit one more goddamn time, bitch, I'ma beat your motherfucking ass. When we say it like that, there's a whole different ball game, ain't it? Okay, you know what it is when you sit up there. You know how your parents used to tell you, you better sit your ass down. Okay, everybody know that look. Everybody know that look. You know that look. You know the tone when the tone changes when mama and daddy done got serious too. Okay, now I told you. I tickle because my aunt, I don't understand. Who pays to listen to Google. You bitch, you ain't supposed to understand. Stop cutting on. I didn't say cut on. Google's ass sitting up there. They listening to me. Mm-hmm. But they sat up there and my aunt, see here they go again with the damn video. My aunt sat up there and my cousin was running his mouth, right? And she said, okay, Terry, that's enough. And he just still talking, just talking. She say, I said, Terry, that's enough. And he kept going. She said, do I got to turn around and look at you? Baby. This was my mother's oldest sister, and I had just met her, right? All I know is I heard my mama come out of her mouth because she and my mother, hell, they sisters, so they sound exactly alike. And when she said that, all the hairs of my back stood up because I knew what that meant, honey. I knew exactly what that meant. Read my motherfucking lips. I said, shut your goddamn mouth. That was going to come next. And then a nice back slap. But she didn't have to go that far. But when she said, do I got to turn around and look at you? I said, God damn it. So we all know when the tone changes, that's when the people start to act as if they're going to respect us or at least get the fuck right. You know what I'm saying? So in that regard, everything that is going on with the burnings and the looting and carrying on, we all know that unfortunately, this is how we get their damn attention. And I know a lot of y'all are going to say, but this ain't the right way, because I'm going to say it too. This ain't the way to do it. This ain't, you know, we have to do better. Yes, we do. At the same time, we all know that this here is some of the reasons how we get started. But we're going to challenge that today because there's a couple of things that's been done on this internet. Like there's a video that's going around on Instagram where the guys are protesting, but they came across a whole pallet of bricks. And the pallet of bricks is just sitting there outside of this one. It looked like it's a mall of some sort. All this goddamn glass everywhere. Now, the kids sat up there and put on the thing. They said, wait a minute, what are these bricks doing here? And there is no construction site around here. Okay? Ain't no construction, no goddamn where. Y'all got a whole pallet full of bricks? Okay? Now, who set that up? Huh? Who set that up? And don't tell me no goddamn Antifa, because Antifa ain't that goddamn smart. You understand me? Antifa don't work like that. Antifa tries to overthrow the system and things like that, and they challenge the system. All this damn pro-terrorist shit or domestic terrorism and carrying on that the current administration want to conveniently put out there because that's a political ploy. This ain't got shit to do with all that. This here is systematically set up, just like the racism is. If the racism is systematic, now you want to sit down here and put shit into place to where what it's going to look like. You got all these folks, quote unquote, looting to give the people permission to shoot and fire their weapons. Why? So there's more bloodshed. You want to talk about population control again? Huh? You want to talk about population control one more time with that? And we in a year where we got to take the census. Talk to me, children. Well, y'all, let's read these tea leaves together. Huh? Let's read the tea leaves, children. Let's read these motherfucking tea leaves. Here. Because something about this, child, something that's rotten in the cotton, baby. And y'all know, we've been picking cotton too long, honey, for something to be rotten up in there, and then I ain't gonna get my coin. No, we work too hard. We work too motherfucking hard. Okay? There's a number of things on the net, honey, that don't spark my attention, but we're gonna start with their bricks first. Where are these bricks coming from? I was listening to Flame Monroe earlier today. Now, I don't know if there's a video out there because I haven't seen it yet. If y'all know if there's a video out there where they got the police or y'all could show that there's somebody placing them there, somebody got to take, because there's video cameras everywhere. Somebody seen these children put these goddamn bricks somewhere so that they're convenient. Now, let me bring Aunt Nikki up in here because she said she sent me something. I haven't seen it yet about the child in the van and the girl was giving them bricks, child. Come on up in here, Aunt Nikki, and say your piece, girl. What's up, baby?
Child. Hey, people. How y'all doing? Let me tell y'all something. Yes.
Come on up.
Woo! Okay. So I think it's an Instagram video that I shared, but I sent it to all you guys. So there's a lady, like it comes on, the lady runs over, open up the car door and hands them, I didn't realize it at first, it's a brick. And she said, why would you give them that? Why would you give them that brick? You're not going to get in trouble. They going to get in trouble. Now, there's white people in the car. So these white people that gave these young black boys some goddamn bricks. That lady let them have it and then slammed they goddamn door. She was going off. Like, who the fuck are you? Why would you do that? That's what we talk about, like those paid agitators and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all coming to agitate the situation. You're not there about the goddamn cause. You're there to make ruckus. The thing, you already know, I've been on 20 about this bullshit because there's so many different angles of the way this thing goes. So we know that, yes, our government, if y'all don't know that our government shiesty is shit, like Trump ain't the first motherfucker to be shiesty, okay?
Come on now.
He's not the first motherfucker to be shiesty. He's shiesty as shit and we don't like him. But everybody was shiesty, okay? Everybody that held that office and did some shiesty shit. Now let me make y'all understand. I love Obama. I don't give a fuck all the bad shit they say about him. As far as I'm concerned, so the fuck what? Because for all the shit they done got away with for all these damn hundreds of years, y'all kiss my ass. If he did anything wrong, I'm like, you know that mother that don't ever think their kids do nothing wrong?
Right.
When it comes to Obama, that's how the fuck I feel. I don't care. My son ain't do shit.
How about that? Okay. Okay.
Kiss my entire. I'll be like Veer Walker. Kiss my entire ass. He ain't did it.
Entire
Yeah.
ass. And I want to say
But
it like that.
Here's the thing. And remember I said this, Meech, when we were talking. The thing is, I feel like it's right for the rioting? No. But I understand it.
Right.
Do you get so full and so tired that happens? Yes. But what happens is you get the motherfuckers that ain't out there for the cause. Once the shit pop off, now you got all the motherfuckers who couldn't give a fuck about who got killed. They just out there to fuck up shit and steal. And that's what fucks it up. See, because in my mind, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Burn it all down. Fuck it. Let's talk about Tulsa, Oklahoma and shit. They burnt all our shit the fuck down. Burn it down. However, if you burning it down because you so sick and tired and it's the cause and you feel like it ain't nothing else for us to do, that's one thing, baby. But when you coming out there with the bullshit, like right now, I'm upset about Philly right now. Philly, y'all blowing up motherfucking ATMs and shit. That ain't about the cause.
No, it is not.
That ain't about the cause. No. That's about you and your selfish ass shit.
No, it's
because
not.
You could go find some, like they did in Minnesota. Go blow up the police station where you know the most racist cops is. Motherfucker, y'all blowing up ATMs. Who that's helping? Because y'all donating the money to the cause? It's like, because I don't get
it. Hold on. Because here's another thing, and I'm gonna be saying this for a little piece of a minute. That there's a number of children who are out here who trying to get your likes up on your social media page.
We talked about that the other day. This shit about going viral. It ain't about that man dying.
Your world star hip hop on. You want to get your Instagram on. You want to get your YouTube on. You want to get your Facebook on. And carry on to be content creators, okay? Right. And see, can I say this? No, it's not. Can I? I'm going to say this.
I was getting ready to say, okay. This is our show. Say what the fuck you want to say.
This is the part that's going to piss me off, and that there is all of that kind of bullshit feeds into the current administration's agenda and how he gets put back into office. You understand? See, all of that, because
you see what's strategically happening right now.
Exactly. Because all of this becomes what he branded as fake news. So now, if you're out here doing all this crazy ass shit that goes against what the original purpose is and the original message. What you do is that now you got all this shit going on, and then it changes the narrative. Once the narrative changes, then he get to swoop down up in like he just did today, calling martial law. He get to swoop down.
Wait, but not just today calling martial law, because you know it's always a magic show going on, right? So yesterday, while we out tearing up shit, burning down shit, stealing people's shit, breaking up people's shit, he vetoed the bill to forgive student loan forgiveness.
How about that?
He vetoed that shit yesterday while we out here doing it. Because how many people have died since the riot started? Have you got a count?
I haven't.
Okay, so we know that people have been dying. When nobody else had to die, all you had to do was lock up the other 3 officers and go back and start taking care of the injustices of before. But what they would rather do is allow anarchy and shit to take place.
Exactly.
And you look at them. They animals. But just like the young lady from what is it?
Until Freedom.
She said, you want us to stop, Lou? We learned it from you.
Okay.
Everything we doing, we learned from you. You ain't been nothing but violent to us since the days that you stepped your foot on the coast of West Africa.
Okay.
But when we turn around and get that shit back to you, then we a bunch of animals and don't know what we're doing and we crazy and we uneducated or whatever. But we can't just be tired.
How about that? How
And
about
and all of that goes together with the people who are fucking it up because you ain't tired, you just looting.
okay? Exactly. Looking for the come up. Okay.
If
Look
you
at
wanted it to be some overthrow of the government type shit, then we could be organized. And I can't wait till we talk about the other thing about the organized
we,
protests and stuff like that.
we
But
coming.
that's you can't rely on those
Can't
machines.
rely on the machines. Can't use them. The ATMs and shit.
Oh, the ATMs, yeah.
Okay.
My son said, my grandson, Marcus is 12, I think. All they've been hearing is police sirens, gunshots, the tear gas bombs, everything going off. And I'm like, are you explaining to him what's happening? He's like, yeah, we explaining it to him, but it's like, it's like being in one of them countries where my husband had to go to goddamn Kuwait. Like, what the fuck?
You know what? Now, see, I'm glad you went there because let me say this. Because see, here's something that I want us to really take into consideration. And I know some of y'all are probably going to say that this is a stretch, but okay, but it's not really, because what we have when you have all of these damn the flashers that the policemen shoot to get the folks to scatter,
Yeah,
the fireworks, flash bombs, and things of that nature. When you have someone who suffers from PTSD,
come on,
and they hear that, okay, in a time where it looks like anarchy and it looks like wartime, what the hell do you think you're doing to our citizens, our veterans, and those who are out there who are suffering and haven't really got a hold of it yet?
I worry about Brian all the time.
What
Like
are
the
you
other
doing?
day, he literally told me he wasn't watching the news. He said, I don't want to. And Brian is one of the, he's our age and stuff like that, but he act like old ass there, man. But
Right.
he's literally saying, I don't want to watch the news. This is a person who watches the news all the fucking time. He didn't want to see what was going on because it's too much. And then for you to say y'all calling it, the National Guard is there. They're all downtown. They up there trying to pull that fucking Frank Rizzo goddamn statue down. I wish they would have blew his fucking head off the statue. I don't give a fuck. But we have to worry about that. You got a lot of veterans and stuff. There are a lot of veterans in all these major cities where all this stuff is happening. And y'all dropping bombs and like, you say you can't hear it at your apartment, but over here with me and Kolar, we can hear the siren that used to sound like when we were on the military base and my husband and them would go on alert. And it was a siren that went off. Okay. So, and it would go as far as everybody was able to live because we didn't live on the base, we lived off of it. But the sounds went long and, the distance so that whatever area you lived in, you could hear it. And we keep hearing that. The other day, we got the alerts to our damn phones. The shit sound like a damn Amber Alert, but it's telling us to get our asses the fuck in the house. Like, this shit is crazy.
Okay. You know what? Wait a minute. Please tell Trump. Please tell how Trump stands with the Bible in a church trying to look like a Christian. The only Christian knows is Christian. The only Christian he knows is Christian brothers. Wait a minute. He don't even know.
He go to church? He go to church?
Wait a minute. Let me tell you something about Mr. 2 Corinthians. Here.
Not 2 Corinthians. Do he go to church? I ain't never seen him at a church.
No, child. He called himself trying to quote scripture one day, and that's what he called it. He did in 2 Corinthians, honey. He said 2 Corinthians, baby.
When he dumb as a fucking bag of rocks. He gets on my fucking nerves.
Live television, honey. He was on.
Everything he does is on live TV. He is dumb as a bag of fucking rocks.
2 Corinthians. So when he said that, there is nothing that could come out of his motherfucking mouth, honey, that could say anything to me about anything spiritual, about anything church related, about anything, because I know
that motherfucker opened up the churches and then he ain't go to fucking church. He went to play golf that Sunday. Get the fuck out of here.
Okay, so what we have is just the idea of this bullshit of it becoming more and more just photo ops and talking points so that he could talk to his base. See, those are points where he could get to his base and mobilize them. Because remember, and I say this all the time, his entire campaign is based on one issue voters. Okay. As long as I'm for you against that, I'm against that, you got my vote. Okay. Because you're talking how I need you to talk. And he has a number of people who are one issue voters. So every time we turn around, we're talking about that. Okay. And then if you notice, every time he gets to talking when he does his political campaign speeches, he ends up running a number of shit together. Why? Because he's trying to talk to everybody at the same time.
And he trying to do what the rest of the politicians do. Ain't never going to answer the direct questions, and you ain't going to never answer it right. Because first of all, he don't know the answer to most of them.
In order to stop all the hateration of ignorance actions to our community, people, and the world, we need to be grown adults and by united as one. Okay, and be united as one. Come on there, JoJo. And
JoJo, I'm gonna say I disagree a little bit. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you why. All other communities besides us as Black people, they have a oneness first.
Right.
So it would be fine for them and other races to come together as one. But us as Black people had to learn how to come together first before we can join with anybody else. You understand what I'm saying? Before we can come together with everybody else, we got to learn how to come together with each other.
How about
we
that?
have been systematically trained to not trust each other, not love each other, not care about each other. And this is the reason why we can't get the things done that we need done.
Exactly.
Because you got too many people in different sectors of the same thing. There are so many people who want the same thing, but I don't want to join them because you know Sister Mary over there, and I don't really like that bitch.
Right. Okay.
Brother Charles over there, and I know he be cheating and blah, blah, blah. So I ain't fucking with him either. Mind your business. We here for one cause or what?
Right. Okay.
We have to learn how to come together. So once we can come together as a people, and there's been so many of our leaders who have said that. Oh, thank you, Tracy. There's so many of our leaders have said that, and it's just the truth. We can't be one with everyone until we one with each other first.
Right. Now let's do this. Let's do this because that's a cute segue into this other Facebook or Instagram video.
Oh, which one?
There's a Black woman who,
the African lady,
who was at one of the rallies, and I believe she was in DC or somewhere.
Yeah, she was in DC,
and she got to bucking against the protesters. And her logic is that Black Lives Matter, they are the real racist. They are a hypocritical organization because instead of them being Black Lives Matter when anything goes on, because she said, how come y'all not down in Chicago? And how come y'all not here when Black on Black crime and y'all not standing up saying Black Lives Matter then? You only stand up to say Black Lives Matter when there is white folks who kill Black folks or white police officers who kill Black men and carrying on. And so she called Black Lives Matter the real racist. She also said that we have to learn how to mobilize for the greater good and stop saying that, oh, we're victimized and we're this and we're that. She said, no, I'm Black. She said the struggle is real, but I'm not a victim of anything. I can sit down here, I can still do what I want because this is still a free country and blah, blah, blah. So,
you know I'm ready. I'm waiting for you to finish.
But I want to dissect that. Do you got the video? Can you play that thing?
I don't have, because I did have to use my phone, so I can't.
If y'all go, I'm gonna see if I can pull it up because there's just a couple things in it that I really want her to say. I don't have a second laptop yet, so I can have a split screen.
Yeah,
but that's coming because I got to get a second laptop. Let's see. True Aunt Nikki, but as God's children of all races, we need to come together as one because we all belong to God. That's true, JoJo.
That's true, JoJo. I believe that. I absolutely believe that.
Together. Here's the thing about coming together, and this here is how it is. We can't come together until I get my own house clean first. Ain't that what
Right. That's all I'm saying. We can clean up our own house to go visit somebody else's.
In my eye. Okay, when you got the splinter in my eye when you have a big ass plank in yours. So if I got to clean up me first before I'm able to sit down there and say, hey, let's do this, that, and other. And using that analogy, we as a Black populace or the Black diaspora, okay.
I love that word now.
The diaspora.
The diaspora.
Or like some folks like the diaspora.
Come on now with your face.
Okay. But we as Black people or as people, I'm gonna say descendants of African heritage here in this country, okay, we have got to learn how to galvanize ourselves. We have a lot of internal housekeeping that we got to do.
Exactly. And that's what I mean by that, JoJo. That's what I mean by that when I say we have to get together as a people first. Because what you have to understand is these other people, the other races, their issues aren't the same as ours because they have not been the oppressed. They have always been the oppressor. So until the oppressed can come up out of that oppression, because we still mentally in the oppression. We might not be in shackles, we might not be picking cotton, but we are still mentally oppressed. And until we come up out of it and stop coveting each other.
Shit.
If we could stop coveting what everybody else got and understand, like the way people did back in the day, like when they were first coming out of slavery, they wasn't trying to go against each other. They was trying to build it together. Like we talk about Black Wall Street and we always talk about Tulsa, Oklahoma, but Tulsa wasn't the only one that had cities. There were cities all over the country like that Black people built, and they burnt them down because like in Tulsa, the white people who lived outside of the Black Wall Street thing, they would come in and borrow money from the Black store owners, the Black business owners. And they can't fathom us having that much power. Remember the Malcolm X movie? Because y'all know I know the whole Malcolm X story, but if you watch the X movie and the cops say one man shouldn't have that much power. Okay. That's too much power for one man. They don't want us to have that. But knowing if we were just on an equal playing field with them, there wouldn't be as much shit that goes on. But we haven't been able to get there because we can't come together.
Okay. Now hold on. Let me go here. Because here's a few things that as far as our internalized cleanup needs to be. And I see we got somebody in the queue. Mook, is that you? That Mook?
Yes, that is your niece waiting for you.
That's Mook. Mook, I'm gonna bring you in just a few minutes. Okay.
Because we do need a little younger. We're going to get a younger perspective. So we're going to bring the baby. We're going to bring the baby of the bunch in here.
Of the bunch.
I mean, she's 30, but she our baby.
She the baby of the bunch. Okay.
She'll be 30 next week.
But here's where it is. Okay. And I need for us, even though we know and it's a go-to argument, black on black crime. Yes, it's a go-to argument, and in fact, that's one of the things that Miss Thing said in that video. You know, what about black on black crime and this, that, and the other? Child, every neighborhood where everybody is in their own shit is whatever on whatever crime.
I was getting ready to say there's a lot of white on white crime. The difference is they don't show it on the news. Look up your statistics. On the news, do your homework.
But they have proven that white on white crime, honey, is more.
It is
black on black crime. Okay.
It is.
But what we have to do is start running to that as our excuse. Now, that's part of our cleanup, though. We can't not talk about it.
Right.
Because it's part of our internalized cleanup. But we can't run to that as the go-to damn answer.
Right.
We need to stop this black on black crime, baby. That's gonna be there as long as we got jealousies and carrying
Because
on.
crime is crime. No matter what country you in,
Right.
if you on the continent of Africa, almost everybody is black. There's crime.
And
If you go to Ireland, everybody white, there's crime. It
okay.
might not the European countries and stuff might not have as much crime as us because their punishments be a little bit stiffer.
Right.
And they don't play about their shit. But they have crime and they doing it to each other the same way we are. Now, remember when you said the lady was talking about Black Lives Matter, they're the racists and this, that, and other. Why don't they talk about when it's black on black crime? Okay. When they created that Black Lives Matter organization, that was about the white police brutality on black people. That was what that organization was about. There are organizations about black on black crime. In Philly, there's a wonderful organization called Mothers in Charge.
Okay.
Mothers in Charge work on the violence in Philly of them doing it to each other. It's not about the police. Now, if something happens with the police, then yeah, they involved in that too. But it's about what's happening in our community. Mothers are tired of their kids dying.
Wait a minute, hold on. Cause see Haji, he loves this shit. Okay, he loves this shit, and he
reflects into their white concept. Well, Haji, I kind of agree with you.
I knew you would, but here's where I am with that. Tell me and explain to me what the fuck is a black concept. What is
because it depends on what he's talking about. Haji, tell us what you're talking about. Because I don't want to say I agree with you, and then I don't know what the hell you're saying.
And the reason why I'm differentiating that, because see, it's another thing. If you're talking about the whole idea of white Jesus and that kind of shit, then I'll give you that. Because we all know we all know what religion has done and carrying on. If you're talking about the American dream or the pie in the sky, that could be debatable, and I would lean on your side with that, because oftentimes what we see to be the American dream, it has never been our dream. It's always been our nightmare, because we have never been able to capitalize on it.
Okay? Now, see, that bring you right back into that lady, the lady from DC. She was African, right?
Go there.
The difference when they come, and you know I have a lot of African friends. So the difference when they come, they still get afforded the amenities that other foreigners get when they come in, far as things that will help them start businesses and all kinds of carrying on like that, like when other immigrants come in. What they fail to realize is we don't get those same things, and we were born and raised here. This country was built on our backs, and we don't get those same things. Us as parents have fucked up our kids. Like, I know my mother fucked up my credit, and I done did it to some of my kids too, and I'm trying, Lord forgive me, because my daughter trying to fix it. All the time, she tell me all the time, Mom, I can't get Pico. People in Philly know what I'm talking about. I can't get Pico in my name, Mom, thanks. And I'm like, shit, Mommy was just trying to make sure y'all had some lights on. Right. But the thing is, when you coming from another country, you don't see it from our point of view. You get to see, oh, well, why? All you got to do is get out here and do this and do that and do this and do that, and you'll have everything that you want. It's not as simple as that for the people who were born here.
Right. Exactly.
It's not that easy.
Exactly.
It's just not, and they don't get to see that. And I'm glad that I have friends from different places in Africa that I was able to sit down and tell that to. Like, I had a few different people that don't know each other let me know that before they come here, they tell them not to associate with us.
Wow.
That we lazy, we criminals, we not to be trusted.
Wow.
So they come with that mind frame of, like, everybody has experienced it. When you get around maybe an African place or a bunch of African people and you like, oh, why they act like they don't like us?
Mm-hmm.
That's why. Because they are being told of what we supposed to be. We lazy, we tired, we ignorant, we don't know shit, we don't want shit, all of that. That's put into their mind before they come here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now how do you say it wrong, Auntie Nikki? Some of the biggest fights are in Europe. Hell, they still got cannibalism in Europe. Well, she said in other continents. Where's she wrong at? Because
how am I wrong, Haji? I've lived in Europe twice. What you talking about?
Well, I guess he was trying to equate what you were saying. You know, on every continent or whatever, there was crime and this, that, and the other. So I'm
Yeah,
trying.
that's what I said. Like everybody has their own crime. That's what I meant.
Okay, blacks want to chase you about white Jesus, white Muslims, white gay issues. Black folks trying to be woke, but trying to get a white friend so they could tell blacks they got to do better. Now,
Well, that's not everybody.
Well, right, I'm gonna give you that too. He know I'm gonna give
I
him
mean,
that.
you have it to a degree, but let me tell you what I say last time in one of our shows before. Baby, I've been woke, and I way before it was cool to be conscious, honey. I grew up that way. Nobody had to convert me or wake me up or anything like that. I was born into it. And I raised my kids that way too. So I was it before it was cool to be conscious. I don't need no white.
Okay, come on now. Oh, wait a minute. What just happened to her signal? Oh, Lord. Okay, we just lost her for a second. She's feeling ready to get back in. Wait a minute. Come on up in here, Mook. Wait a minute. Mook ain't there. Aha. Okay, she probably helping her mom get her signal together. So let me continue on here. Okay. All right, Nick, you back? Okay.
Yes, sorry. Yeah, I don't need no white friends to validate me or anything like that. I tell everybody all the time. When people ask me, when they say, "Oh, you from Philly? What part?" And I say, "Oh, it depends on which day. If I was at my mother's house and I was up there with the white people in the Northeast, if I was at my dad's house, I was in Mount Airy, and if I was at my grandma's, I was straight in the hood in North Philly." So I've been able to experience everything. I went to a K-8 school where it was only 3 black kids in the whole motherfucking school, and I was one of them. Listen, I don't need no white person to tell me about this, that, and the other. Went to it.
Here's what this is, and see, for Hodge, and I know where he's going with that, because oftentimes it's just like how we are. We're going to the doctor. Most of us don't trust black doctors or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, it ain't.
I got an African doctor. I love her to damn death.
You know, it ain't never right unless the white man say it is, or we always look.
Yeah, you kiss my ass with that.
You know, and carrying on. But that there is what I've said this before, that there is slave mentality residuals.
Yeah.
That's those residuals, because we're so used to the handouts and carrying on, you know.
And I know a lot of people like that. I do. You know, my mom was like that. Well, Jackie, my mom, not my birth mom, but Jackie was like that.
But here's where it is. Do we blame them, or do we blame the system, or is it a combination of both? Because see, we have been in the business of wanting to get over on our people and carrying on. We've always been trying to shuck and jive one another for the longest time. Mm-hmm. And now that we have a number of black doctors and carrying on, but then now we done got insurance dangling a carrot called a coin in front of these folks. So now, are you going to try to build your practice, or are you going to sit down here and get this coin? Because now, if I do this, I can get this government coin from your Medicaid and from your Medicare.
Right.
And this, that, and another. So it's a vicious catch-22 system. But at the same time, though, I get tired of that always being the go-to argument as far as, oh, you just doing this because, you know, they white. Because when are we going to see whites as, as individual? Because, see, like right now, here we are in this damn thing. We got more white folks than ever, riding with us, or at least demonstrating.
Yeah. Because back when it was the civil rights movement and stuff, it was a few, but it wasn't that many.
Okay, and on top of that, and now let me give you this, because I sent you the picture. China, we know something that went down because the Amish children then came out with.
Now, I hadn't commented on that picture yet because I wanted to make sure we authenticate that picture. Yeah, because Photoshop is a hell of a drug, honey.
Yes, but honey, I'm gonna take that one for what it is, because I'm looking at that and I've seen the Amish children and carrying on.
You know, I'm from Philly, so it's Dutch, Pennsylvania, baby. The Amish is right.
Now look at that. Just in that, I got to pause that, because just in that, look at that, how we are today. Everything got to be so fucking scrutinized now, because it could be Photoshop. Is this doctored? And we can never take anything at face value right now. So just that argument right there, us trying to rebuild and refortify ourselves as a people, all these white concepts are looking for your white friend to tell you what's good or whatever, or so you can get your credit score boosted up or whatever. See, all those concepts or whatever are fly by night concepts now.
Because remember when it was the whole thing about the Black Lives Matter, the Blue Lives Matter, and then they had the little girl with the dad, and he was a cop, and she was holding up the picture, and it was like, my dad life matters too. They found out that picture was Photoshop. Me too, Tracy. Honey, ain't nothing like some fish and grits and eggs for dinner or some pancakes. I'm just trying to tell you, I love breakfast for dinner. But and for the record, our breakfast is not what it is around the world. And the African dishes, they eat rice and all kinds of stuff for breakfast. Other countries don't just eat they don't eat what we eat for breakfast. So
okay,
McMillions is in the house.
McMillions, what's up?
What's up?
Yeah.
Oh, you look so cute.
I need let's get your perspective on this because you are part of the new millennials. What is it? The millennials, the Generation Z, or whatever the hell.
She's somebody. She'll be 30 next week, so I forget what she is. I think she's a millennial.
Okay. No, wait a minute. Now this is good, Haji.
She don't act like one though. She act like an old lady.
This is good. I like this one. Whites rock with us because we are their money.
Boom. Say it again, Hodge.
And that's across the board because whether you got the coin or not, what ends up happening is that you end up becoming their coin, whether you fund their programs, you become the part of their number so that they could get the government funding.
Or you just giving them our culture, honey.
And they capitalize on the culture. Okay.
They capitalize off the culture.
If you're guilty,
unless you black.
Okay. And because you ain't never had nothing, they could sit up there and give you 2.5 million, and you go sit up there and backflip. Well, they make it 20.5 million off of your ass. See, so and that's the part that a lot of people don't get. And when you look at, you have to tell the folks, child, listen, if they willing to pay you that kind of money, what the hell kind of money are they making? Okay. So that's part of the key. That's part of the key. Wait a minute, how do you have put something else up here? We got black doctors, but they see us through white eyes. If I'm sick, it's not because I come from a single parent home. Okay, I'm gonna give you that to a point. Because what I get tired of are the bougie bitches, and I'm not gonna say the bourgeoisie because the power to the people children I always call them the bourgeoisie, and I get sick of them always blaming shit on them. But they do have a point to a point. And that there is, I get tired of the bougie bitches always thinking that because they done got a little coin, that now they are better than everything else. And then they start to sit down there and filter you because they don't want to be around thugs, or they don't want to be around the ghetto, they don't want to be around this, or they don't want to be around that. Bitch, this is part of what this is. You said you are a doctor. You're not here to judge me because of what you think my character or my lifestyle is. Bitch, I'm sick. Okay? You understand? This ain't about you doing this, that, and the other. Now, what you can do is sit down and say, okay, listen, your lifestyle is a detriment to your health because X, Y, and Z. But don't give me that bullshit because now you're disgusted by me. Yeah. Fuck you and the damn host you rolled in on.
Well, look, bring everything that's happening right now, because I don't know if you've seen the links that been in the Uncle Reese just put it to me and you. So with the riot and everything that's going on, tell me what's your take on what's happening, starting with George Floyd, them having their knee on that man's neck for over 5 minutes.
Man, I feel like the same way I've been feeling about the same thing. It's disgusting. Like, it makes me upset to my stomach on some real white cops killing black people, period. But this whole riot thing, I can't say I'm proud that all 50 states it was rioted in. Like, every state rioted.
Every state?
Every state.
Really?
Yes, man.
Even like Utah and stuff?
Said all 50 states rioted. They all rioted.
What?
And I like the fact like that y'all was talking about how it's more white people out now too. Like a lot of the white people was standing front line, like protecting the black people. And I don't really know how I really feel about that. I be feeling like some white people just want to go over and be honest, show that they're not racist because sometimes they really low key is, or they feel bad for the situation. But I guess I could appreciate them like guarding us. Like
I don't
like
have
the
a
fact that
problem with white people coming to stand with us. What
right.
makes me nervous is I never know, are you really coming to stand with us or are you one of them plants?
That's what I'm saying. You
To
never
like
know how
infiltrate
to
the
really
thing. Like,
feel
yeah,
about it.
you don't
Like
never know. So it makes me proud because at the end of the day, even though black people can spaz out all we want on some real stuff, the people in power ain't listening to us. They
right,
listening to the white people. Well, not just white people. They listening to rich white
white
people.
people.
Okay,
Gotcha.
because and I always say this all the time. Do I think Trump's a racist? Yeah, but what I will tell you, what I absolutely think he is, I think he's racist against poor people more than anything. He don't give a fuck
Yeah.
what color you is. If you
All
ain't
he
got no
see is
money, he don't
money.
give a fuck about
Right. All he see is money.
you.
That's all
Right.
he see.
So yeah, it gets a little sticky with that. And now that we know that they send in plants and stuff like that to get the riots all going and crazy and everything, you never know who to trust. And it ain't just white people, because just like in the civil rights movement, when they had people
Black people doing
infiltrate
it too.
Panthers, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, they was black, honey. The FBI sent
Right,
in
right,
black
right.
people. So it's like it's so hard to trust. It's hard, and it's sad. Like I was telling Uncle Meech, like if you rioting for the cause, like do I think that's the right way to go? I don't know. Some days I wake up and feel like burn all this shit the fuck down. I don't give a fuck, burn it
That's what
down.
I was just about to say. Like I was about to say this whole rioting situation. Like I agree with all of it from all aspects, every last aspect of it. I like how it started off trying to be peaceful, but at the end of the day, it's only so much escalating at a protest. It's like you being somewhere and you slowly get hyped up. You slowly get hyped up. Now you just
Right,
mad and you angry and you explode. Like I appreciate it. People came out there. They wanted to be on some peaceful stuff. That was their intentions for some people.
right,
Okay.
right,
And some people just went out there just because, but I feel like I agree with all of it. I agree for everybody standing up for their rights. I agree when people got mad and start setting stuff on fire and start stealing
right.
stuff, because at the end of the day, it's like, okay, yeah, we're mad at black people as a whole because yeah, we shouldn't have been out there destroying stuff for no reason, like just stealing stuff and doing stuff like that. If I was out there, would I have been doing it too? Yeah, I'm just being honest. I would have been out there the first few hours, peaceful with everybody, and then I would have probably escalated with everything going on. I would have wanted to set something on fire eventually too, because that's how I really feel. But me being who I am, I would have been out there just to start like, all right, I'm just out here standing up for us. But things escalate, so I understand how it went from them may have been going out there just to stand for their ground to it lead into all this crazy stuff. Now people breaking ATMs and taking money. All right, yeah, y'all might be doing too much, but I understand y'all. Like if I
Yeah,
was
and that's what I
somewhere
was saying. I
and they
don't care
bust
about.
in the store and there was a million cell phones just being out, I'm probably gonna grab one too. Why? Just because I just
Well,
know
I'm gonna tell
me
you, I
and
said the
I'm
other
caught up
day
in
when
the
they busted
moment. It's
AT&T.
free.
Look, Cole,
Like
when I
what?
said when they busted AT&T up in Buckhead, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I might not have been one taking one, but if somebody called me and said, "Yo, I got unlock new iPhone for sale," and I had the money, I'm not gonna sit up here and lie and tell you
Right,
that
like
I'm not
I'm
gonna buy
not the
that
one.
fucking
I'm not
phone.
saying I'm about to go bust open nothing or go just run up and something to start. But if I'm walking by and y'all done bust open and there's 20 flat screens laying here, I'm leaving with one of them. Like I'm not. I'm leaving. I'm just being honest. Now, do I agree? Like I said, I don't agree with everybody just tearing stuff up, but I understand it. I like the fact that the white people were setting borders and trying to be out there to support us, to shield us, regardless if they was there for the right intentions, the wrong intentions. People probably just wanted to get out. Like I salute the people that's really out there doing it for the right thing. Because like you said, it's people doing it for clout, social media. Like who
Right.
cares? Like I said, people just out there because they ain't got nothing else to do. Some people out there just purposely spreading coronavirus. Hey,
How about
you never know what's
Come
going on.
on,
Like
come on, daughter.
you really
That's
never
my
know what's
daughter. You
going
better
on.
tell them, boy.
And
that, daughter?
like like Nikki said, the bill being passed, I knew it was something going on because like just yesterday, I was like, we out here, the world going crazy, but what's really going on? Like if y'all just reopen everything,
I said Trump vetoed
y'all just reopen everything. Y'all opening malls back up and nail salons. Next thing you know, we rioting, and next thing you know, the coronavirus it just shut down out of nowhere. But just like last week, everybody was so hype about that. So it's other things going on. People just need to, like you said, wake up, stay woke. You've been woke. I've been born woke all 10 times I was born. So like I'm already
all
hit
10
to
times
it.
You
like
was born, that's my child.
10 times, like, but I'm just saying, there's limits to it. Like I said, I don't condone all the violent part, but it's only so much we can take. Like violence versus, like they be like, oh, violent, you shouldn't be violent back with it. Sometimes to get there, like I said, people escalate. They probably went out there with the intentions on having
being peaceful all these long ass years and all kinds of stuff gotten us. Like you said, Meech, what Dick Gregory told Killer Mike and them. We did all the marching and stuff. Right. Dick Gregory told Killer Mike and T.I. and them, him and Martin Luther King and Malcolm and all, they did all the peaceful protesting and shit.
It's we done marching. Marching ain't did nothing.
And do something else.
Marching ain't did nothing.
Let me do this because see, this is going to filter into something I want to get into. And Red is down here in the queue. I'm going to bring him in.
Oh Lord, your other uncle up in the queue.
Oh, baby, because see, I'm going to say this, and I'm gonna keep saying this because I know I've seen in comments and stuff before that everybody I've seen somebody it's time out for less MLK and more Malcolm X, as far as the mentality is concerned. But here's the thing, and I'm gonna say this because everybody think that Malcolm X's mentality was always about going.
It was never about violence. It wasn't about violence. It was about protecting ourselves.
It was about protecting ourselves. It was about making sure that we went up in here to get the job done, and we did whatever it took to get it done. It did not mean that we were going to let folks push over us or whatever. And it didn't mean that we were just going to sit down there and just take our ass whooping either. But it does not always mean that everybody want to jump to the fact that, we going to sit down here and, okay, by any means necessary.
You said that the other day. Yeah. If he meant by violence, do it by violence, he would have said, we're going to do it by violence. Okay. By any means necessary means there are different means. And we're going to use whatever means we need to get it done.
Exactly.
If he meant just be violent, he would have just said, fuck it, shoot it up.
Okay, and here's the thing. Because of that, this is where we have to strategize and come in here right. Because I titled today's show, what do we expect from our leaders? Okay. Ooh. What do we expect from them? Because see, one of the things that I stand by is that we got too many folks still looking for the next Martin Luther King, the next Malcolm X.
It's not going to be another next Martin Luther King or Malcolm X. You got to be who you are. Be who you are. Be Keisha Lance Bottoms.
Be Killer Mike. Be
Killer Mike.
Okay, and carrying on.
Yeah, right now Cardi B talking more politics than anybody I've ever seen. Now, what the fuck? Anytime Cardi B can come on there and shut it the fuck down and have a whole conversation with Bernie Sanders, the fuck?
That right there. Okay. Now, wait a minute. Haji done put something up here that's real interesting. And then Red, I'm going to bring you up here. Haji says, the Floyd murder is just a Negro carny fair that's going to take us for a ride, get us over-invested, and then expose Floyd's past and hold it against the riot and hold it against us. The ride is a way for those businesses to economically reset. Why did the glass get clean? The insurance checks are issued out, and the new businesses pop up the same at the protest. The protest will have those new jobs calling the same police on you, talking about you stealing.
Yeah.
Now, you know what? Now, hell, right there, I can't fuck with that one. I can't fuck with that one at all because
he's telling the honest to God truth right there.
Yeah, again, that goes back to what we talking about, them planet bricks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that shit. When that young boy said, "Ain't no construction around here."
Construction around here. Where the fuck these guys?
But it's a pallet full of fucking bricks out there.
White people sat it there for the niggas to start tearing.
The government sat it there.
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's look at this from another perspective. See, because see, here's the thing. Now, I saw this as a meme, and it tickled the shit out of me because they said it's funny now. All of a sudden, y'all talking about rioting and shit, and y'all mad at the riots, but just a few weeks ago, y'all was fighting and killing each other for a goddamn roll of television.
Come on now.
Okay, we were just sitting up there fucking up each other and beating each other's
They're
ass.
just thinking of different reasons to make us go crazy, man, back to back, like, and we just doing it.
That's it, look. That's exactly it. They found
Everybody just need to go to sleep.
Make us go crazy.
Okay.
Take y'all black asses home and go to sleep. That's what everybody need to do. Just stay home and sleep. Cut the news off. Stop everything that's trending. Just go meditate for a week straight. Y'all be all right. I'm trying to tell y'all, like.
Now, here's the thing, because in dealing with all of this, you know, I had set up and I said that what they say, Floyd's daughter caught a case and may do some time. Floyd's daughter. Which daughter? He ain't got but one that I thought. Anyway.
I thought he only had the baby by the white girl.
No, he got the black girl that they showed the one daughter with anyway. He may have more than one, I don't know. But let me put this out here because we were talking about Floyd's past. And all of y'all have, oh damn, where you go, Red?
Yeah.
All of y'all, if you don't know, you will. He has done amateur porn and things of that nature. The damn link went all around New Jerusalem and carried on. He's really good at it. But it went around, things of that nature. But what we don't want to do is allow that to become the narrative. Because what will happen is, they are, just like Hodge said, they will sit up there and pull up his past, just like they do with everybody else when they sit up there talking about, oh, so-and-so did this and so-and-so did that, you know, and talking about something that they did in their youth. They tried to do that with Trayvon Martin. With Trayvon, they talking about, oh, well, hell, he was caught with marijuana cigarette or whatever they did, and they were trying to defame his character. Okay, so what? The boy was caught fucking. He did a fuck flick. Everybody fucked. That's how he got kids. Okay, everybody here because somebody had sex. Now, can we get over that? We cannot allow that to become his narrative. As a matter of fact, that's something that we need to put out there and let us control the goddamn narrative. Because see, what's going to happen is that if that comes out as some kind of investigative shit, then it's going to become a problem. And then all of a sudden, all them same church children that want to sit up there and say, oh, we love you, and then they're going to become the moral police, and now it's going to be a goddamn problem. Okay? It will be a fucking problem. And so I'm having a grand old time with that. Red, I'm going to bring you up in here because Red did something, and I know I had said this off camera about the fraternities. Here we are in an area, and this here dealing with black men. Okay, black men being killed, black men being endangered species. We have all these black fraternities. Okay, y'all can holler skeet all motherfucking day. Y'all can flag your colors and carry it on. You can sit down there and get on what's the hell that Lil Boosie, because he wore your goddamn colors to a fucking basketball game, thinking that he was celebrating y'all, but y'all got mad because he didn't go over the fans of fire or whatever the shit is. Y'all felt disrespected. Okay? And I challenged and said, where the fuck are they? How come they have not come out in numbers to do the shit? Now, Red made me eat my motherfucking words, and this is how you do it. Because the children of Omega Psi Phi, these motherfuckers came out. Where were they at, Red? In DC? Where was that at? DC or Philly?
DC.
They sat down there, and when I tell you that was a beautiful expression of all those brothers that wrapped around that motherfucking corner, they made a whole complete L of the Omega Psi Phi brothers in line, in step, marching to take this to the helm and to bring something about making a change. And that's what I call leadership in this. And I challenge all the other frats. I challenge all the other of the divine now, but I want to talk to the frats. The sorors, they gonna get it. But I want to challenge the frats because the whole idea of this is we need to change the narrative of the protest. See, if we have some kind of organization like that, to where the folks are going and they're like, okay, this is what we need to make this look like. This is how we stand in solidarity. And then as black men saying that we're not going to put up with black men being killed, that there is what needs to happen. All of those children that got influence, that got a little piece of coin because shit, you fooling your frat brothers all through shit. How come we need to challenge them to be the leaders to start black businesses, to get the damn thing started with black economic empowerment and black political empowerment? Because that's what you said that you are. You're all about community service. That's what I want to see. Red, come on up in here and say your piece.
What's happening, man? Nikki, what's happening?
Hey.
Oh, baby.
I'm gonna be honest with you. At the end of the day, well, the way
this me that just keeps.
Yeah.
So
the way these brothers represented it, like you said, was so, man, it was beautiful. They wrapped a purple and gold line of black men.
No, go back in the queue. It could be
around the doggone City Hall building. And when I say they wrapped around it, everybody was in unison. They had doggone when they showed a display of what black leadership and black organization can be.
That's right. That's what. Oh, that was so beautiful.
They exemplified what we can do as a whole across the entire United States of America. If they can do that right there, then why not all of us connect? But I'm like you. I'm charging. Where was the Kappas?
Right. Come on now.
Where was you?
The five blues and shit. You know.
Yeah, where the rest of y'all at?
I want them all. All of these fraternities.
And sororities. Don't leave the females and the sororities.
The one fraternity that they charged with the most ignorance and was the most powerful movement.
That's right. And they're the first one to do it. The Qs. That's right. How about that?
What they charged with the most ignorant.
Ain't that the shit? Now you know what? I can't. That right there has to be highlighted because you're damn right. The Qs of all of them are the ones that's supposed to be. That's why they're the Q dogs. They are the most lascivious. They are the most debaucherous. They are the ones that sit down there. They're supposed to be the manliest of men. But that organization, according to what its legacy is out in the streets, let me make that preference, out in the streets, that they are the ones who exemplify every negative male characteristic about being a black man that there is, because they're the seriousness, okay, and carried on. And all right, but we all know that there is young shit and all that old bullshit. But
that is the beginning to what you are to become and represent as a man.
Right.
We all have an adolescent closet. That's not a problem. The problem is, what do you do with that energy when you conform it into maturity?
How about that? And right there.
That's what it is.
Now, Nick, to your thing about the sorors, we want the sorors, but I want them to hold off for a minute. And again, going back to this is internal. If we talking about our black men, all these goddamn fraternities that are black male centered, they black fraternities. So if black men are getting killed, y'all need to be the ones that's up there that's doing the shit. You want to?
I believe it.
And honestly, Beach, I agree with you. I concur everything you're saying. And Nikki, I'm gonna tell you. Let me tell you where I stand with the sororities standing back and staying down. They already took us from you black women.
All right.
Go right there. Do it, Red.
We need to stand up and snatch y'all back.
Do it, Red.
Well, you already know me. When it comes to being submissive about something that needs to be submitted to, I'm with it. So in that aspect of it, I'm with you.
If you could stand back and watch kings be sodomized and their manhood taken, and they destroy it for over 400 years, then you can stand back and watch us slap the fuck out these crackers.
That's right.
I'm right there with. Look, I'm right at home making their dinner, baby. Look, when you walk through the door, I got the hot water and the dinner for you.
Hold on. This is what Haji said. Haji said, I don't understand why the whites are at the riot. They already had a more successful protest because they were in the government building with big guns demanding to open businesses. The business were only Chinese businesses, and then they beat up black for shopping at the Chinese businesses because Chinese businesses are the black businesses.
You know what? When my phone was going in and out, it was something that I wanted to tell you guys, and I'm not sure if I sent that to the Dish and TV page for us, but I came across this. I did it because I couldn't get it because it was a IG story, and you know they be longer than the 1 minute. So what it was like 3 generations of black men out in a protest in Philly, right? So the one guy, I think the one man was like 50 something because he was like up around our age, and then it was somebody else in their 40s and I mean in his 30s, and then it was like a 16-year-old. So you had the one who was in his 30s letting the older man know, don't tell him to destroy this shit because this is this cycle that we keep going through. He said, you mad at 56, I'm mad at 36. And he said, little boy, how old are you? He said, 16. He said, and you mad at 16. But this ain't the way. Because all they going to do is either lock you up or put you in jail. And then you're going to be bitter like us.
Right.
He wasn't saying he had the answers, but what he was telling them was, this ain't the answer.
Right.
This ain't the answer. We got to come together as black men. And I was so happy to see that it was the man in the middle. It wasn't the older one, and it was the one in the middle.
Okay.
I don't want to be like you, and I don't want him to be like me.
How about that?
We gotta fix it. We standing right. They didn't even know each other.
Right. How about
None
that?
of them knew each other. I thought that was the most.
Nick, you grew up in a neighborhood where nobody knew nobody, but everybody looked out for somebody.
Right.
Come on now.
Okay.
Come on now.
What the hell happened?
Right, Nikki.
Come on now. Because the neighborhood come together. Because you remember back in even when we was little, before we really knew what gangs and stuff were. But when I started doing my research on the gangs, not Crips and Bloods, but the other, like the Gangs of Disciples and all of that kind of stuff, those things were set up to protect their neighborhood.
Exactly.
They did venture into other shit, but that's not how they started. Even the Crips.
Right.
Do you know how many GDs and vice lords in the areas I grew up in Chicago, when I was a young kid, just running the streets, running them up, and I'd be doing some stuff I ain't got no business because we all was like that. And one of them would grab me and be like, "Yo, little G, get your ass on to the house."
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Go on to the house. Put that damn bottle
the
down.
violence and stuff has, for us as a people, has gotten out of control. I remember there was a time, you know, like when we were younger, if somebody got shot or stabbed, that was real serious.
Exactly.
Like it was serious. Like, you know, because it was in that mentality of you fight to see another day. Like Pop said.
Exactly.
But I remember one time, get ready to get off the bus. Y'all know I'm going down to the hood. My mother like me, stay your ass from down there. I'm going to my grandma's house, right?
Okay.
And I was about to step off the bus. And I remember my cousin boyfriend at the time, his name was Big Dave. Dave pushed me back up on the bus because he saw me about to step off the bus. He said, don't get off the bus. Go back home. Because everybody know when I come down there, I'm at my grandma's house. He said, go back home. I got pushed back up on the bus to only hear bah, 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 because they were shooting. But they wasn't shooting innocent people. Not to say that them shooting each other was any better. But it was like, this is between us. The rest of you motherfuckers go in the house. You ain't got nothing to do with this. Okay. They protected each other. So something as simple as you wanting to protect me from whatever's going on, because you can see it when I look out the window, it's like it's nobody hardly out there. Okay. And you hear the shot, because for them, they thought more enough about their neighborhood that this is about us.
Right.
Look, I seen the
Our
city
coach coming up.
I
In Philly, our OGs pulled our coach coming up. Exactly. That's exactly what happened. They didn't want nothing to happen to us.
Exactly.
But
And it's like we're not doing that for these like.
Nikki, do you remember this? I know you remember this because I'm thinking about Philly. I'm thinking. Remember I told you I used to spend summers in Philly for kids. You remember the time where the government called themselves punishing people when they were retracting services like food stamps? They were like trying to take them back, and they weren't doing little cuts. They were doing major cuts, like cutting you off the littlest thing and all that. The gangs
Michigan,
up and replenished the neighborhood with the food, the milk, the formula, the whole 9 yards. You looked up, and anything that you was missing was replaced by the gang.
Because our community leaders stepped up. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like anybody from Philly will tell you, if you was from 29th Street, like around the area where my grandmother lived, Frank Oliver was everybody's damn friend, okay? Hold on for a second. He done passed away, but we still got a Frank Oliver office. Hell, my little cousin mother was working for him for I don't know how many damn years till he passed. But we had community leaders. Exactly. We had, you know what? Remember this? The block captain.
Oh yeah, hold on. Now listen, Nikki, slide your ass over to the left in the chair.
I don't know why I don't know I think it's something wrong with my camera because usually I'm not like that.
Oh, if you leave the camera alone and move your body, you'll be fine.
Move your body.
How about I do this? I go back to this. What it was I was trying to do horizontal.
Stay right.
And hold on.
Right there. Right there.
Wait, but I can't see nothing. Okay, here we go. I was trying to do horizontal because Lee was in my head. I put it back vertical. I was trying to do horizontal because Lee was in my head. So
okay.
But yeah, we as a people look out for more things, and I don't know where it fell apart. I don't know if it was the crack epidemic or whatever the hell happened, but us moving away from the village hurt us. It hurt us a lot because remember, even when we were young, even if you didn't have a lot, we know it. You ain't feel like you ain't have a lot. You ain't realize you ain't have a lot until you went somewhere else where they had so fucking much more. Right. Because we was happy and the village was able to raise us. Now the village is not able to raise everybody because everybody don't have that village mentality.
Remember this because we both from that concrete jungle atmosphere. So
yes, baby.
You got to remember, we were happy drawing boxes on the ground and jumping through it. We was happy bouncing a ball on a bottle cap, making it flip over.
Okay. You know how many trophies I got for jumping rope?
Right.
Baby.
Wait a minute.
You know I had my mother call me out and tell me, you's a horrible mother because your daughters don't know how to jump double dutch, but you got 9,000 trophies for doing it. I said, let me tell you something. Ain't nobody teach me how to jump. I went the hell outside and I figured it out like everybody else. Okay. They was outside. They was playing with doing other stuff. They ain't jump rope. That ain't my fault.
Okay, wait. We got some breaking news, child, honey. I got to read this.
Go ahead.
George W. Bush. This is coming from HuffPost. George Floyd's death means it's time to listen, not lecture. Former President George W. Bush released a statement Tuesday about the police killing of George Floyd, but emphasized it wasn't his place to say how the country should handle its systematic racism problem. Instead, he said it was time for Americans to recognize the repeated violation of the rights of Black Americans who didn't get an urgent and adequate response from American institutions in a statement posted on the George W. Bush presidential website. The 43rd president noted that it remains a shocking failure that many African Americans, especially young African American men, are harassed and threatened in our country. Bush is the second president after an essay Monday by Barack Obama to speak out about Floyd, 46, a Black man who died last week after a white Minneapolis police officer, Derek Chauvin, knelt his neck for nearly 9 minutes while Floyd was handcuffed on the ground. Okay, I'm not going to go through all that because now they're detailing the story. I hate when they do all that.
So hold on, because I'm trying to. Is it some shade in there to Obama?
No.
Okay, I was just making sure. Now,
No.
anytime when George W.
Wait a minute.
when we want to agree with George W., I feel like we're about to come to an end.
But hold on, because Bush in his statement added that peaceful protests, when protected by responsible law enforcement, makes for a better future. But then Bush, who the New York Times noted never made any public statements against police brutality during his 2 terms in office, then said that Floyd's death, one of the longest series of similar tragedies, raises the long overdue question of how does America end its systematic racism? Bush acknowledged that the country's greatest challenge has long been to unite people of very different backgrounds into a single nation of justice and opportunity. He added, the doctrine and habits of racial superiority, which once nearly split our country, still threaten our union, and admitted that we have often underestimated how radical the quest really is and how our treasured principles challenge systems of intelligence or assumed injustice. The former president then cited
my phone ain't even.
Okay. The former president then cited American heroes like Frederick Douglass, Harriet Tubman, Abraham Lincoln, and Martin Luther King Jr. as heroes of unity, while conceding their actions often revealed the nation's disturbing bigotry and exploitation, stains on our character sometimes difficult for the American majority to examine. Still, he said, we can only see the reality of America's need by seeing it through the eyes of the threatened, oppressed, and disenfranchised. Although Bush never called out President Donald Trump's fiery rhetoric, he did concede that many doubt the justice of our country, and with good reason. Black people see the repeated violation of their rights without an urgent and adequate response from American institutions. Bush said that lasting justice will only come by peaceful means, adding that looting is not liberation and destruction is not progress. Lasting peace, he said, can only come from truly equal justice. The rule of law ultimately depends on the fairness and legitimacy of the legal system, and achieving justice for all is the duty of all. Bush said that for that to happen, we require a consistent, courageous, and creative effort, and that Americans need to understand the experiences of their neighbor and treat them as equals in both protection and compassion. He said, if Americans apply empathy, shared commitment, bold action, and a peace rooted in justice, I am confident that together Americans will choose the better way. Although many people found Bush's statement resonant and powerful as the type of leadership we need, all in quotes, it should be noted that Bush's own record on race issues was mixed. In 2015, Politico gave Bush a C- on race issues, giving him high marks for administrative diversity and international outreach, but an F for domestic outreach, and a D for jobs and unemployment, and a C- for apology and reparations to the Black community.
Well,
That's the post, honey. That was posted today. Okay. Now, that's very interesting.
Red, I'm gonna shut the fuck up. I'm gonna just let you go ahead.
That's very interesting coming from somebody who we called him the dumbest thing up in there until this fool got there. Okay.
I love when you see the memes of him and they say you still think I was the worst president. I love those memes. I love them.
Now here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Oh, wait, okay, wait.
Go ahead, Red. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm having a hard time digesting the fact that somebody that can't read Dr. Seuss book just wrote all that.
That's what I said.
Here's the thing. I don't think here's what it is. Because I think now now that he's not president and don't have to sit down there to try to tame everybody, I think that was straight from the hip. I don't think he wrote that. I just think that was straight from the hip. Okay, I mean, yeah, they say he wrote a letter or whatever, but I think that was straight from the hip because now he ain't got to please nobody. He don't have to sit up there and make sure his words are right. He don't have to get a speech writer. He don't have to read it because he couldn't read for shit. Okay.
Right.
Y'all know I don't really care for Kanye either, but in the words of Kanye, George Bush.
Wait a minute. Listen. Tracy said, now you know if George is talking, things are messed up. Now,
that's what I said. When you first started reading, I said, now anytime we gotta agree with George Bush, I feel like the world about to come to a goddamn end. Like I don't even want people to know that I agree with what the motherfucker said.
Well, here's the thing. We can't do nothing but because listen, when it becomes obvious.
Hey, stop the press.
What?
Stop the press.
What happened?
T.I. trying to sue Donald Trump for using the whatever you like video for the campaign.
Sue his ass, y'all. Sue him.
He's seeking legal
yes.
action.
Sue that nigga.
And my other thing about Trump and his sexual allegations.
I'm coming to that.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what though? You know what? Trump. Okay, here's the problem. Okay, here it is. You know, like everybody, I don't know if everybody who eats steak and beef, you know, filet mignon, they know that comes from a baby calf. They starve them, they bring the meat out, make it real tender. Okay?
You don't have to say it like that.
It's the damn truth. But look.
I know, but that.
Okay, but at the end of the day, if Trump like his fish fresh out the eggs, you know what I'm saying? He need to come forward and let it be known. There's too much doggone stuff out there that people holding that's gonna blow his motherfucking socks off because obviously there's something very, very, very goddamn attracting to him about some 14-year-old pussy. I don't know what it is about that. But again, all the stuff they got against Trump, I'm gonna need y'all to go unlock the cage and tell R. Kelly go home.
Well,
they already know all the shit that he did. They just ain't did shit about it. That's the problem.
R. Kelly go home.
No,
Trump need to be in the motherfucking cell right next to R. Kelly. Him and Kelly need to be right next to each other talking shit.
I feel like this cannot attack somebody in this country and just totally destroy their life based on a sickness or illness where you can get them some help. And the fucking leader got the same problem.
Right.
I don't rock right there. I don't rock right there.
Okay, well,
that's the truth.
A lot of some of the grandparents, uncles, and everybody else that need to touch everybody should be in jail.
I'm saying, just the point though. The point is, he's the leader, right? But then as soon as they see a black man that's dominating, they can make it. Like R. Kelly wasn't in jail and he never got in trouble. He could have stopped the riots up there.
Okay.
Yeah.
He had that much power in the city. You understand what I'm saying now? Like I said before, I said this to Meech earlier on the doggone Atlanta Hot Radio. I said it there. When their program is to destroy and remove everybody who has some type of control over the communities. All they is to be moved. Once you snatch it out of there, everything goes fucking haywire, is run amok, and then they got your ass. I'm gonna tell y'all something. This may sound crazy as hell, Meech, and you can write this shit down. I swear to God. But I feel like all them fucking bigots and them fucking devil worshiping ass rednecks sat in a room and they put up $50 billion a bet to see who could cause the most chaos with their bullshit to win the entire pot.
Ooh, I believe it.
I think everything that's going on right now is a psychological mind fuck of the United States.
And it might be, I wouldn't put it past it.
And that whole shit about holding up the Bible, I believe that son of a bitch is the one that had the diabolical plan to have these motherfuckers rioting and going crazy. They was talking
about Obama was the Antichrist. Shit, a fucking lightning bolt should have came out the sky when his ass put his hands on the damn Bible. What the fuck?
I feel like he strategically put his money on the fact that he said, one of them probably said, I can start chaos with a virus. He said, fuck that, you can't do that. When we started chaos, he said, well, I can overdo you, I can override you. I can make the motherfuckers goddamn go outside. One of them said I can lock them in. One of them said I can start a virus, and the other one said I can make all them sons of bitches go crazy and tear up the whole world.
Remember this, y'all. Hey, remember this?
That's how I feel.
Eddie Murphy. Which movie was that? When they made the dollar bet.
That's
No.
Trading Places.
Trading Places. $1.
Them rich motherfuckers do shit like that.
Yeah, fuck your whole world up with $1.
Fuck your whole life up. They can either make it or fuck it up.
Let me go here. And I know this is going to be a stretch. And this is all going to be metaphoric. But I can see how this is playing out. Because that child sat down there and said when he first campaigned, I can shoot somebody in the middle of Times Square, or whatever he said. I can shoot somebody, and y'all will still vote for me.
Yeah, he said that.
Okay, that came out of his mouth. But I want y'all to pay attention to something that he did today. Because he did this today. And that was, while he was making this political campaign speech about Floyd's murder, not his death, his murder. And then he said, I am the president of the poor. Okay. And I'm going to do everything within my power to make sure, blah, 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 blah. That's a campaign speech. Well, while he was doing that, the protesters that was outside, he had called for his military force to go through, and they started to assault everybody to move them out the way so they could walk through to go take his photo op. Now, in that essence of being metaphoric about shooting somebody and getting away with it, okay, he just did that with that military shit because he declared martial law and told all the governors, either if you don't do it, I am going to.
And you heard what he said. When they start looting, y'all start shooting.
Right. And talking about he didn't understand the historical meaning. Bitch, you knew what that damn shit meant. You know what it meant. And then I had somebody say, no, that wasn't, what's the name of the children? The fact checker site. I can't call the name right now. Somebody went and put up on my Facebook wall that the child George Wallace did actually say that wasn't his exact quote or whatever. So whatever. The point of the matter is, you knew where it came from. Mm-hmm. Right now, we are in position to where we have to now come up with solutions because, wait a minute, how did you say y'all forget Trump ran his campaign on law and order? Okay. He said that's just being unapologetically white. No, that's not just unapologetically white. What that is just this fool know he got all the power. See, anybody who has the power does stupid things. We see that all the time. Anybody who got money and think that they could do what they could do because they could get away with it, who gonna challenge them? That motherfucker went through Michigan, and Michigan through the goddamn thing. They told him, you have to have your mask on to be in here. He the only motherfucker walking through there without it. And I put it on before I had it in the back in that sensitive area. But no, I didn't want to give the press the opportunity to see me in it.
Why?
Okay.
You would think that you would want them to see you in it.
That was my thing.
Excuse me, what do we think? What movie did we speak of today?
What, Trading Places?
No, earlier. What do we speak of? What movie?
Which one?
One of your favorites, Al Pacino.
Oh, Scarface?
No, one of your favorite Al Pacino movies. Yours, personally.
Because I know Scarface is my favorite one.
The Devil's Advocate.
Devil's Advocate.
Okay,
that was a good ass movie.
See me in that mask. Vanity.
Are you right? My favorite sin. Okay.
His ugly ass, he need to be covering up everything he can do.
Wait a minute, honey. But here's the thing for me, and I think I said this the other day. The thing for me with that is that it had the president's seal on it. Y'all know everybody now trying to get these little masks carried on to be fashion statements or whatever. He could have sold those bitches and made money for the country.
Because all them motherfuckers would have bought it.
All his supporters would have bought that shit. And carrying on, I wouldn't have, because but his supporters would have bought it, would have made money for the country. And so here now, where we at is that we got a lot of shit going on, and we have to now try to strategize solutions. If we were to sit down here and say, okay, let's start this protest, we finna create a protest and we're going to demonstrate what are the goals that we're trying to achieve, and what is it that we need to do to get this? If these folks are fucking it up, what do we need to do to make it right?
You know what? This is my quote. This has nothing to do with decency. This is all from the big guy ally. And again, it's my famous statement before I make it. Who gonna check me? Fuck you. Okay.
Who gonna check me, boo?
Okay.
Don't let me get like Sheree up in this one. Who gonna check me?
I want to know this. Why do I get the feeling? I have a small feeling inside of me that if you walk up and blow this motherfucking head off, won't nothing happen to you.
I don't think nothing happened to you either.
I don't think nothing will happen to you. From this where we're standing today, I think if you killed his ass and he goddamn didn't survive, I don't think nothing will happen to you.
But you know what? Here, now you want to hear something real strange?
Good.
Look, he didn't want it in his mouth.
I've always felt that he didn't want somebody to do it. Because he has made himself like he's so fucking untouchable, to where he's daring somebody to do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because he's walking around so cocky as if to say, "Oh, you ain't got enough hooks for to do it. You ain't got." It's almost as if it's a dare. So you may be right, because every time I watch him do what as if he's on a dare. He's daring the world to do it. So now, but let's get into creating solutions, because I heard that we need economic empowerment. We know the power for us as a community is in our economics. Our black businesses, our black business owners, our black schools, and carrying on to where we fortify the businesses. If you don't teach these kids how to count their goddamn money and how to invest it properly, or how to write a business plan, then we won't have black businesses. Okay? We have to.
If you don't start investing for your kids when they little and showing them how to do it, because I know I didn't do it with my kids, but guess who's doing it with their grandkids? All 5 of my granddaughters own 12 shares apiece in a goddamn medical marijuana company.
How about that? Okay, so
I'm just saying.
where do we where do we start the process? Because if we're saying that we don't want to see them loot and carrying on, we don't condone it, but we understand it. Where can we sit down and put these pieces together to create what it is that we want? And then what is it that we want? What do we want out of the protest? What do we think the end result should be?
For me, I remember when they shot Reagan too, and I remember last year when they let John Hinckley out of jail, Tracy, and I was like, listen, if you could do one more drive-by at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, we got you. You know, but this time make it a headshot. Like,
yeah.
To be perfectly honest, there's so much that we need, but if they want to start off right, for one, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit ass murder 3 charge.
Right.
Let's start with that. 2, there should be those other 3 officers need to be charged.
Right.
You were there. If that was a regular person, if it was a bunch of black boys and one of the black boys got out and shot somebody, they killed them. They don't give a fuck that the other 3 didn't know that he was about to kill that boy. They all getting charged with it.
Right.
So, but him personally, that shit needs to go up to a murder 1 charge because it was clear, unadulterated murder. There was no mistake. We talked about it the other day. It wasn't one of those you had to make a split second decision. It wasn't that. That was outright murder, just like the rest of them be. And the fact that you keep letting all these cops off, and then what is it like when it's murder? Is no double jeopardy or some shit? You can't charge them again.
You can't charge them again if they beat the case, right? If they got off, you can't charge them again,
right? So, but this is the thing: you can't charge them again with the same charge, though, right?
Right.
So them other cops and shit, y'all ain't charged them with the right. Y'all ain't charged them with capital murder and shit like that. Go back and charge their asses because y'all know they deserve it. And I'm not saying every cop that has killed somebody, every cop that has killed a black person needs to go to jail, because not all the time is it. I mean, if you in a shootout with the cops and you died, then that's like you in a shootout with the cops and you died.
Let me.
But when you were unarmed and it was outright murder, them things need to be taking place. This shit is not going to stop. And what happens is we get hype about every once or twice a year when it happens. We get hype, we protest, we march, might fuck some shit up, and then that go away. Because then here come the other magic trick over here, and we forget.
Hey, can I ask you a question before you start? I want to ask you a question. I don't know if you got it. This is a question I got.
Oh, Lord.
I want y'all to ponder on this. I want you to ponder on this.
Okay.
What's the difference between a police officer shooting an unarmed man and a police officer killing a handcuffed man?
Ain't no damn difference.
Look at the charges over time in history.
Because if he was handcuffed, you ain't got no motherfucking there was nothing that stopped you from just doing the right thing. And if he was unarmed, what the fuck you shooting him for? Well, your life wasn't in danger. It's the same shit.
I tell people to look at those charges, like look at those cases and look up and see what the end results were.
Right. Let me go here.
Y'all do know that it was some more. We found out more about Floyd, that they had him in the car first.
Yeah.
And took him out.
Yeah.
Oh, I know all of it. I know it.
I saw the video because I had to block somebody on Twitter. Some ass, because they wanted to fall into that category of what if he hollering that he can't breathe, that means he is breathing. I said, bitch, I'm asthmatic, honey. If I'm fighting for my life, I'm telling you I can't breathe.
When my chest tighten up, when I start having an asthma attack, motherfucker, I can tell you I can't breathe, like it's closing up.
Right.
That's that bullshit. If you could talk, you could breathe. Like if you can holler, you can hear. Right. No, it's not the same thing.
Right. Here's the thing. The definition for third-degree murder, it says here, where am I reading this from? This is from, I think this is Wikipedia. The exact statutory definition of third-degree murder is the unlawful killing of a human being when perpetrated without any design to affect death by a person engaged in the perpetration of or in the attempt to perpetrate any felony other than 19 enumerated categories of felonies. Okay, now I had one definition that said that they did this to where they were trying to do something, but it didn't have. They were trying to inflict harm, but not hurt, but not death. Yeah.
When that man told you he couldn't breathe, and you stayed there, he went from crime. That man peed on himself.
Oh, because they finna get ready to charge the other 3 officers this week before they bury Floyd. His attorney came out tonight, so they're getting ready to get more charges coming up. And the state of Minnesota filed civil rights charges against police department.
Exactly, Tracy.
Let me tell you something about that goddamn lawyer.
What happened? What happened? I didn't hear.
They're gonna charge them with the same thing they charged us to because they found out that 2 officers that had their knees on them were also a part of killing him. So the other two gonna get the same murder charge.
What the brother-in-law getting? Then they're doing nothing.
Oh, he getting accessory.
You hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear it.
Yeah, but let me tell you something. Because see, when that goddamn attorney, I mean the prosecutor, I mean the investigator,
Commissioner,
whoever the fuck he is, the investigator that took over the case, when he came out to do the press release, he pissed me the fuck off because why the hell you mad at the damn reporters because they ask you what you gonna do with the other 3 cops? I'm not here for that. I'm here to say
that was the commissioner with his ignorant ass. He was ignorant as fuck.
Hold on. You don't sit there get mad because they ask you about everything is on the motherfucking tape, bitch. How you not gonna talk about this, but you mad, and then you waited all this goddamn time? What was the difference between 2 days ago and today that got your motherfucking information? Said the same thing.
It's the pushback from the police.
Right, this is a fucked up thing. You just said this. You just made this statement. How they? It's like I'm saying, okay, they want to give little China boy. Now when he got in trouble and he took off. Remember they couldn't find him a couple of days ago.
Right.
Okay, but now they want to charge him with just accessory. Again, you just made the statement that if it was black boys doing a crime, he'd have caught the same charge as the motherfucking Neil.
Everybody else.
Exactly.
I'll go down.
And I mean, that's cute and all that y'all gave them some charges, but it still ain't the right ones.
What's going to happen is, the way they're talking is, the reason why it takes so long, because they want to try to get everybody first-degree murder and bump it up from 3rd to 1st. That's what they're trying to get, first-degree murder.
If they do that, then they need to get convicted.
But the problem with the first-degree murder charge is they have to look at
That's the
everything.
truth, Haji.
And other people have to get an outside opinion on that. But see, this is what you
I'm a black customer all the way.
But the thing that you
I
mentioned
look
is
for black businesses.
the governor of Minnesota filed civil rights charges against the Minnesota Police Department. That's very important because that means they going back all the way back to Castillo and everybody else that got fucked up in Minnesota. They've been investigate all of that stuff. So whoever didn't get charged the first time is going to get charged this time, and all that stuff can come to the forefront of how Minnesota been doing folks. That starts the precedent.
Come on now. Now there you go.
That starts.
That's a start.
This is the big picture that you're missing. Once Minnesota does that, the rest of the police chiefs and the governors are going to follow suit. Now you got all 50 states that's got to go back and pull up all
that's what I'm talking about. There's a start.
That's
the only thinking that you got for that is 45. That motherfucker needs to be. Y'all on live, so I can't say what I want to say. But anyway, the biggest thing about I just got the phone with.
They can't see you. You can say it. Don't nobody know who you are.
Listen, the biggest thing about I just got the phone arguing with a Trump supporter. You know what they fall back here now? Antifa is the reason why we having this big issue right now. I'm like, what?
Right.
Because that's
I'm like, are you really that brainwashed? Are you in the same planet I'm on? I'm sitting here watching this stuff, so you need to do your research. Do my research. I'm looking at it. I'm watching it every day.
Antifa is a motherfucking talking point like it was when he first ran the.
Bro, listen, and all the Trump supporters. Look, all the Trump supporters that's they fall back right now. Because I asked the first question I said, did you see how he cleared out all the peaceful people? Man got his hands up. These folks shoot rubber bullets and pushing them with shields out the way. That's their First Amendment right. They can stand up and protest.
Exactly.
People been protesting in Washington D.C. since Washington D.C. been there.
Exactly.
They man just clear the hole. Well, how you supposed to get out there, get your butt, and walk down? Obama could have got down and walked through the crowd with no issue. He knew he could walk through the crowd with
no issue. The fuck could have. He can walk through that motherfucker right now too.
With no security. Obama could have got off that podium and walked straight through the crowd, shook everybody's hands, and walked right in front of that church, and nobody would have touched him. But he know he can't do that.
Okay.
So he gonna bully all these folks, and it's on every. I don't care if you look at it on right-wing media, left-wing media, down the middle media. Everybody came to the same conclusion. That was the bully tactic. He's scared and he's a bully. Everybody has said,
Exactly.
except for the Trump supporters. They said, oh, how he was supposed to get to the border, he had to clear the way. All he had to do was get those people to form a line so he can walk through there. Somebody ain't finna dump on the back of the police. They probably threw bottles at him and stuff, but hey, that's the price of being a jerk.
That's what the fuck he got the civil what you calling for?
Oh no! This is the last development. I almost forgot. So the Attorney General of New York told Donald Trump today they're gonna file an injunction against the Insurrection Act.
I'm worried about too.
He said all the Attorney Generals from all 50 states to file an injunction against him. They're gonna take him to court for the Insurrection Act of 1870 if he try to invoke it. They're gonna sue the shit out of him.
Wait, what happened?
Because they said he is not allowed to do that. If he try to invoke the Insurrection Act of 1807, Attorney Generals from all the states are going to file an injunction against the whole situation because he can't do it. He just can't do it.
He overstepping his goddamn power.
He is.
He been doing illegal shit for the longest time.
The whole time.
See, this the thing.
Now I said he going to jail.
Y'all talking about thugs? Donald Trump a whole fucking thug. What the fuck?
The 10th Amendment right allows the police to the states to police themselves. That's the 10th Amendment right. That's the Constitution of the United States of America. That means they relinquish the power of the federal government to have total control on the United States. That's the way they set it up for a fair state. So the state can police themselves. In order for the military to come into the state, they have to be invited by the governor.
That's right.
Of the state. So he can't just force them. If he do force the military into that state, then by that he is committing an act of treason against the Constitution of the United States.
That's right.
Really, what's going to happen is it's going to be those supporters of his that invite them in. Like
it's not even that. It's the Congress just sitting there like ain't nothing going on. The Republicans are too scared to say anything.
Exactly.
The only people that are speaking out is people who got the Lincoln Project and all these other people.
The only other Republican that is speaking out is the only black Republican that's up there that got the face. That's Terrence Scott. He called out the current administration on his bullshit. He's the only one. Okay,
and that black guy that's a Republican from South Carolina. He other one.
That's who Meech was just talking about.
And Mitt Romney called him out too. You know he broke from the party. He's still a Republican, but he don't.
Well, Mitt, see, you know what? That was bad blood between them anyway. So he was gonna call him out and carrying on. But no, as far as somebody who's still trying to be dedicated to the party and carrying on, no, Terrence Scott is the one that calls him out on this shit. Now I am a conservative, but no, we ain't gonna have it with this bullshit because no, that's wrong. And if you think that these statements are gonna be this, that, and other, you sadly mistaken. He calls him with no uncertain terms. He calls him out. He does a double talk. He tell him straight to the fucking face. No, you wrong. Oh, look who we got him on. Come on now. Yeah, he said none of the crimes will be punished until the Senate is voted out. And right there,
amen.
Motherfucking God.
Come on, Mr. Webb. Come on.
This is the thing, though. This is the thing that the Republicans not paying attention to. People are tired. They are tired of this old way. They are tired of the old money. They are tired of the 1960s slavery mentality. They gone there. Everybody just like people who ain't even went out and mobilized out here marching. It's not just a regular march where it's like, oh, take a kumbaya and we should overcome. That's not this kind of protest no more. This is everybody. I can understand if it was just us.
Meech, you talked about this the other day too. Just in our community, like when you talk about the hip hop community and stuff like that, we got more millionaires and shit than ever before. Remember before it was few and in between when you found the black people with the family that had the long and old money.
Right.
It might be new money, but a lot of the ones got money now, and more of them are getting like you say, like the Killer Mikes, the T.I.s, and Diddy and them. I don't always agree with what the fuck they saying, but they have the power to make the changes that we need to make the change that we couldn't do before.
They got power, but they also have the resources. See where this is, and Otis Mack and I, he said something that I totally agree with because he disagreed with the fact that he said, well, why do they have to come and bail us out because they got money? He said, what needs to happen is we need to learn how to fund this ourselves. And I said, you know what? You're absolutely right. But what the kitty got to get started somewhere.
They got to get started.
The children with the coin who already have the influence, see, they got power and influence and prestige. And this goes to Haji's point as far as that white card is concerned, because they got somebody to talk to white folks. You know what I'm saying? But now, if you know the language, then teach us the motherfucking language. You know what I'm saying? Come back. Y'all start to put the coin together so that I tell y'all we need to bring back the black slate. I keep calling it the black list. It's the black slate. When we had the black slate, those were all the candidates and stuff that were vetted, that we supported, and said that they upheld everything that we said was going to be part of the black agenda. And we have gotten away from that so hard. But part of that is we have got to have the resources necessary so that we can sit up and fund our political agendas and to sit down there and to have the capital for us to build our economic power. How come we cannot get we need more black banks, a black credit union, so that we can sit down there and to let the money turn over? Now I'm gonna say it like this.
But they also need to be able to teach.
But listen,
don't just tell me I should put my money in your bank. Show me how to fix my credit and stuff. And don't be charging me them outrageous ass fees. Teach us.
This is my point I'm trying to make, and I'm gonna let y'all finish y'all show. My point I was trying to make, this right now at this point in time in America is a turning point, because once again, like I said, it's not us just marching anymore. Everybody is fed up. The white people are fed up. The Chinese people are fed up. The Mexican people are fed up. This is one nation, not just black nation. All nations are standing up right now. So now now the wheels can get turned where we can start that. Now the wheels can get turned where, because you forget about Tulsa. They just let that out about Tulsa. We had all of that.
Ain't nobody forget about that, and that wasn't the only one. There was Black Wall Streets all over this country, honey. They only talk about Tulsa.
Right.
But they destroyed it. They
burnt it down. And then that's why when, like that lady said, you want to talk about us looting? We learned it from you. You talk about us burning shit down, we learned it from you. Right. They burnt Tulsa and fuck down and every other little Black Wall Street that they had in all those little towns. They burnt them down. You want to talk about when people mad burning shit down? We learned it from them.
Detroit had Black Bottom, and everything that was a black-owned business and carrying on. They come through. They tore it down. They ran the freeway through it, and was building this new development and shit. And then next thing we know, it was gone, because our Eastern Market in Detroit, honey, was where Black Bottom was. Okay, and that
because even when you talk about the thing with Tulsa, it wasn't just that they burnt it down. Because they burnt it down, but what they did was they did not pay out on them insurance policy, so they couldn't rebuild it. Exactly. That was the problem. Exactly. Right now, we burning down shit, but these business owners can rebuild their shit because their insurance check is coming.
You're right. But you know what I'm saying? But listen, they didn't just do that to us. They did it to the Indians. They did it to the Mexicans with Mexico, the Louisiana Purchase. This ain't no first time thing for them.
But that's exactly what we was talking about. They're talking about they want peaceful protests and all kinds of shit like that. They haven't been nothing but violence since the days they stepped their foot on the West African shores and the days they stepped their feet on the New Americas. So they want peaceful protests and all that shit, but they ain't been nothing but a violent people since the very beginning.
How about that?
They want the problem.
Hey, Mitch, read that.
Read what?
What I've been saying.
You got I am.
Why everybody worry about what's going on next. We need about that they can come over here overtake us.
They ain't lost their mind.
Shut up. Of course. Of course. Iran, Russia, China, Turkey celebrate collapse of U.S.
We talked about this the other night, didn't we, Meech? I said, we the fucking laughing stock. They don't give a fuck. They sitting around the world laughing at us.
And they got the vandalized police car on May 30th. That's in Los Angeles. The goal of these countries during the current U.S. crisis is to use their advantage to achieve gains. Wait a minute. Who is this sourcing? This is the Jerusalem Post. Ooh.
Okay.
The Jerusalem Post. How about that?
I
Okay.
was getting ready to say, because you know I pull up Al Jazeera right quick. Y'all know I watch world news. I watch Al Jazeera, I watch BBC, I watch world news.
That paper's in Haifa.
The authoritarian regimes throughout the world are pushing narratives that appear to gloat over and celebrate that chaos unfolding in the United States. On Monday, Iran's media pushed stories that highlighted the collapse, quote unquote, while quoting Russian sources portraying us is flailing about its flailing about as its world comes down crashing. The U.S. becomes the world's most powerful country, a global hegemonic superpower after the Soviet Union and its client state fell apart in 1989. However, Russia, China, Iran, and increasingly Turkey have all awaited the period when the world will become multipolar again. They have sought to work more closely, and they have sat frequently at global forums that the U.S. does not attend. And you know, Trump said he wasn't coming to that shit. He did that.
He always just like when he stopped funding to the whatchamacallit.
Right.
So when he stopped funding to the World Health Organization, why the fuck would you do that?
To coordinate.
The president don't understand you got to keep your enemy close, and everybody jumped over Obama and said, "Oh, you going to meet with these folks?" Yeah, I'm going to meet these folks because I need to know what they got in their mindset.
Exactly.
We need to figure out what we need to do.
Exactly.
That's how you going on that meeting with these folks. You go see folks who don't want to go, but you go see dictators like Kim Jong-un and Putin. He talked to Putin before he got on the phone and shot them folks yesterday.
That's his homie.
Exactly. To coordinate efforts against the U.S., these countries have all state media that has well funded, such as RT, TRT, Iran's Tasnim, and Fars News, and numerous Chinese media outlets. The policies of these countries are to slowly undermine the U.S. and wait for moments of U.S. weakness to push their agendas. The leadership in Turkey and Iran view their goals as undermining the U.S. through a more religious lens linked with the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps and Muslim Brotherhood that influences Tehran and Ankara, respectfully.
The Muslim Brotherhood, the motherfucker crazy.
Turkey's Recep Tayyip Erosion sought Erdogan, I'm fucking that name up, sought to capitalize on the recent riots in the U.S., claiming that America is just part of an unjust order in the world. Iran's former president made similar comments about the declining U.S. quote-unquote order. This is a reference to the concept of the axis of resistance in Iran and the defeat of U.S. arrogance. Ever since the Islamic Revolution of Iran in 1979, there had been a call for a third way between the U.S. and the Soviet Union in the 1980s that would bring about a defeat of Western systems and the rise of political Islam rooted in Tehran and then in Ankara. Ankara is the nominal U.S. ally, but it drifted away and signed deals to acquire Russia's S-400 anti-missile defense system. It seeks to partition Syria, and with Iran and Russia. Turkey and Iran coordinate in efforts against Israel, and both supports Hamas. They broadly work together against other U.S. partners such as Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, and the UAE and Egypt. Now, the protests in the U.S. and the COVID-19 crisis have made Washington appear to be declining rapidly. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said that the U.S. was now having to deal with its police misconduct and said the U.S. compared unfavorably with Russia. Thank God things that happen in America don't happen in Russia, he said, according to Russia's TASS media.
The Russians are worse.
Okay.
If they can ask you, they don't ask you over there. They come snatch you at your house and you don't everybody never see you no more.
Exactly.
They laws and stuff are stricter, so that's why their crime rate be a little less. Because their laws are stricter. They don't fucking play.
To talk about like that.
You ain't even got to commit no crime. They come snatch you at your house because they feel like you.
Alexei Pushkov, a senator in Russia's parliament and an expert on foreign policy, argued on Twitter that the U.S. is crumbling. He said the U.S. withdrawals from Afghanistan and Syria. Turkey ordered the U.S. to leave and attack U.S. Kurdish allies was an example of the American decline. He also tweeted that the U.S. crumbling due to COVID-19 and the inability of the U.S. to help Europe or its allies at the peak of the pandemic. He said America has been a hysterical tirade against China and now faces an internal schism and racial rebellion. Iran was pleased with Pushkov's words, writing an article about them in the Tasnim as if to affirm the Iranian regime's own view. Meanwhile, Iran's IRGC said it was stronger than ever and that it was resisting the pharaonic dictatorial terrorist United States. Wow.
You know what pharaonic means?
I'm getting that pharaoh-like.
Bro, I tell you about Exodus. Well, I told you to read Exodus.
Yeah. Pharaonic. Yeah.
Ramses, let them peoples go.
Yeah. Turkey has mobilized all of its state media propaganda resources. Oh shit! I just hit something. Here we go. Has mobilized all of its state propaganda media propaganda resources against the U.S. TRT's headlines are directed at bashing the U.S. As the U.S. effort to run and cover. Opinion piece on the page of corporations looting black communities, an obvious and ironic title designed to make it appear that the U.S.
Come on here with that shit they want. These people can buy their own guns. We can carry our own weapons.
Okay, as opposed to the protesters joining a normal form of resistance. Turkey supports the protest, but dissent at home, just like China, Iran, and Russia, huh?
I can't hear Meech.
Hold on, shut up. Hold on. Let me mute y'all because y'all talking. I'm trying to see. Let's see, just like China, Iran, and Russia, TRT highlights police brutality in the U.S., even though it never critiques police brutality in Turkey. The goal of Turkey, Iran, China, and Russia during the current U.S. crisis is to use it to their advantage to press gains. Turkey has been flooding Libya with weapons and Syria mercenaries during the crisis. China has pushed up against India in a border dispute. Iran is flexing its muscle at home and sending tankers to Venezuela. Russia has sent warplanes to Libya and Syria. Meanwhile,
they're like, we got some shit. Y'all need some tanks. Y'all need some missiles. What y'all need? We got it.
Meanwhile, all these countries want to leverage the economic crisis of the pandemic to their advantage. Turkey is designing a new fighter jet that Russia's media heralds as a possible replacement for the F-16. Russia is pushing its defense systems, and Turkey wants to work with Iran, Malaysia, and Pakistan to improve economic relations and expand the role in the Mediterranean. Concern over the rise of these countries have led to other countries scrambling to counterbalance Egypt. Greece, Cyprus, and the UAE and France are seeking to counter Turkey's growing role in the Mediterranean. Globally, U.S. allies are concerned that the chaos in the U.S., where the U.S. military is now being deployed, could represent a decline of U.S. ability to concentrate abroad. That would mean all of those who have been waiting for the U.S. to reduce its footprint will be running to fill the vacuum. Already, Russia and Iran are running toward Afghanistan and Turkey, and Russia are sponging up Libya. The race is on, the scramble to grab up properties as the U.S. appears to teeter. From eastern Libya to Afghanistan to Asia and Africa, everywhere the U.S. may appear weak, the adversaries are preparing. The big four, China, Russia, Turkey, and Iran, are posed to exploit, emerge stronger. Where once George Bush Sr. spoke of a new world order. Now these countries want to bury the U.S. world order amid the chaos. Bitch, they said we coming for y'all bitch asses because y'all weak. And you got and basically shit.
Haven't we been talking about in the last few broadcasts when I was like, we've been a laughing stock for a while. But when we let this motherfucker in, they was like, oh, fuck that. We can take that bitch. We could take them. Where we used to be, because I remember when I used to be like, why all our soldiers gotta go always being deployed this place, that place. And I remember Brian telling me one time, he said, because we the world police. I said, well, who the fuck called 911? Because why the fuck every time something happened, y'all got to go.
Right.
But they don't look at us as that powerful force anymore.
Because of the leadership.
It's always leadership. They always look at us based from the head to the tail.
Look at
child, and look at the head that we got right now. He act like a tail.
Look at what our reputation as a global world, as a superpower. We are the best. We are the top, supposedly. Yep. But look at what the last 3.5 years has done when our President Obama had come out of office. Everything that he had put in place, the whole thing. He was the first president in 50 years to settle ties with Cuba. So we were able to travel back and forth to Cuba.
We could go to Cuba. But you right there. Look, don't take us but a minute to get to Cuba.
You know what they mean by assault engagement? Military assault engagement, SOF?
Yeah, I've heard.
Okay, that's called a show of force. Even when there's no war going on, there's no animosity between no country, the deployments that we go on, we still do a drive-by just to see how y'all doing over here.
Right. Yeah, and just to see because I remember when we was like, the war is over, why the fuck y'all still there? And they're like, we gotta be there.
When we drive by with all our shiny big ass guns. We ain't pointing them at you. But goddamn it,
we just saying what's up.
Hey, how you doing?
What y'all doing?
You know what I'm saying? We'll stop.
Look, how you doing? How your mama doing?
Look, we'll stop 1 foot away from your water line, and then we'll start flying our jets and they be flipping and shit and shooting dummy bombs and blowing them shit in the air, just showing out. The Blue Angels will come through, do a couple of twirls, and then you sit there and go, wow, United States ain't nothing to fuck with. And then you go to bed at night and when you wake up in the morning, it's 12 ships. They gone. Where they went?
Right.
Yeah, we just was stopping through to say what's up.
Exactly.
What y'all cooking?
Exactly.
What y'all cooking over here?
Right. So okay, let's get ready to bring this on home.
Okay.
We go all day. We already at 2.5 hours almost.
Yeah.
And I
got homework due at 11:59 that I ain't quite finished yet.
What do we expect from our leaders? Are we looking for a Martin Luther King? Are we looking for a Malcolm X type? What are we looking for? What do we expect from
We are at the next level, so we need a next level of leadership. That's like saying, you know how they always, preachers, it don't matter what religion, everybody wants to refer back to the books and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Okay, we can refer back to the books, but we can't do it the way they did it in the books because that time was a different time.
Right.
When Malcolm and Martin and all of them was hit, that was a different time. And like we said, what Dick Gregory said, we did all that. Right. So it's time for the next level of leadership. So it can't, sometimes, listen,
right.
How a lot of people overthrow governments or get the shit the right way. You know what I mean? When we was back in slavery and stuff like that, that shit ain't just come by. Oh, we tired. We just gonna let them go. No, motherfuckers, the slaves was like, some of them slaves was like, fuck y'all. We tired of this shit.
Right.
So, we need a new set of leaders. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I love the way Keisha Lansbottom moves.
I do too. Yeah.
I love the way she moves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because when she say what she say, she demands respect and she demands your attention when she talking. Like you said the other day, Meech, when you said, "Woo," her neck rolling.
Yeah.
I said, "Oh," That
Yeah.
look, that ain't Keisha Lance Bottoms talking. That's Aunt Keisha talking, and she said,
Right.
"Take your asses in the fucking house."
Right.
Well, look, we're gonna
We just have to have more people. I'm sorry, Red. We gotta have more people that's gonna represent what the real causes is. Not nobody kissing nobody white ass about what you think we need.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna play Bill the Bear, and I'm gonna get up out of here.
I'm about to go go get this last little 30 minutes in and answer the rest of my questions.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna play Bill the Bear, and I'm gonna get out of here because I'm dead. Tell you, what we're missing right now is that intellectual level that we had when Obama was in there.
Mm-hmm.
So we need that intellectualism of Obama. We need the heart of Huey.
Woo! Come on.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We need the strategy of, I hate to say it, my man Farrakhan.
We do, because he can strategize.
Yeah.
When I say if we can take those three entities and build a leader from that and give him the knowledge politically that Colin Powell had.
Woo! Remember we was talking about Colin Powell's a goddamn Republican.
Listen, let me tell you something, because see, what would that White House would have looked like had we had Barack and Michelle with the Colin, with the Jocelyn Elders.
Colin Powell was supposed to run for president and he would have won, but he didn't want the responsibility.
He didn't want it, but see,
he probably was like, "Fuck this shit."
I want to put Kamala and Cory Booker up there.
I love Cory.
Okay,
I love Cory.
A lot of folks shade on them, but I don't think that they understand what they they don't understand their power, because see one of the things that here's my thing that I'm expecting in our leadership. What I'm expecting in our leadership, I need somebody that's not going to be PC all the goddamn time. Okay, I need somebody that's going to come up here that's going to sit down and break it down to the people the way it needs to be broken down to. Don't give me no false ass promises. I need you to tell me what's real. I need you to tell me what ain't. At the same time, I need you to come to this motherfucking table and make sure that if it ain't no spot there, that you got wood and shit over here, and tell me, okay, build your table over here, because I want you here. You understand? I need to make sure that our leaders are going to, that not only are they educated on book spots, but they need to know the goddamn people. You need to know every facet of the damn people. You need to know all the ghettos. You need to know all the trailer parks. You need to know all the slum areas. You need to know everything about this country that makes it tick, so that when folks come in, folks are able to feel as though that this is all incorporated. And if you can't do it, then make sure that they are represented and they got a voice represented somewhere within the party. I mean, within the package. You understand?
Meech, when you say like them going, especially them going into the hoods, the trailer parks, the ghettos, everything.
Yeah.
Don't be promising the motherfucking people shit that you can't give them.
Because you don't know nothing about it.
Exactly.
You understand?
They gotta be like, you know how the way I always say I'm like this. If I know it, I'ma share it. But if I don't know it, I'ma find it out from somebody, so I can share it after the fact. Or I'ma put you with the person that's gonna know it to help you with it.
Okay, you know what? Somebody said I need Cory to be a little bit more aggressive. I want, you know what? Let me shed a little light on that.
He was in Newark, he was aggressive, so maybe he got to get back to the Newark days.
Well, here's the thing, because see, again, that's that damn teetering the line of wanting to be politically correct. Because one of the things, and we said because Obama got a lot of that you know, there are a lot of folks felt that he was. In fact, I just heard somebody on Turkish TV, somebody that they thought that he wasn't a right leader. But we don't know what goes on behind closed doors in those negotiations.
Right.
Okay. And just like him being a face and being the political face, he didn't. I'm not gonna say he can't. What he didn't do was sit down there and give all, come across as angry black men. Because again, in this country,
that's what they was waiting for.
That's exactly what they was waiting on. In
They
this
was waiting for it.
a black man with an opinion and he has a strong opinion on something, comes across as the angry black man. Look at Roland Martin. The news media can't stand Roland.
They can't. That's why they took him on TV one, but they shouldn't have.
Okay, they can't stand Roland. And
I watch his ass every morning to I get caught up on YouTube.
So now
listen, they don't want everything that they said Obama was going to be, that nigga that they thought Obama was going to be, Trump came right the fuck in there, was that motherfucking nigga.
Okay, wait a minute, hold on.
Everything you said Obama was going to be, this motherfucker came in and was exactly that. Now you get what the fuck you asked for.
Kamala Harris is a dirty hate girl candidate. If the Caribbean and Hindu don't back her, what's she gonna do for black growth? Okay. Ooh. Well, that's his opinion, and I'm not finna fuck with that because he.
I was trying to say I can't tell you how to feel.
You know.
Excuse me, Abdullah. You need a hug.
Do Haji need a? I think he do.
Okay. Okay, but here's the thing, because a lot of
get out here for the night.
Huh?
You about to close us up?
Yeah, I'm about to. I gotta run, but you know what I'm saying. Shout out to the haters. We need you. Right. You elevators. Shout out to the Trump supporters. You know what I'm saying. You gotta support something. If you want to be a jock strap, that's your business. Okay.
If you gonna be a dumbass, be the best one you can. Go ahead.
Hey, support don't mean goddamn it. You know what I'm saying? You could be a sports bra, you could be a jock strap, you could be just tough. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it's what it is.
I'm gonna let that be.
Hey, we gonna stand up for the opposite. We're not Trump supporters. We part of the Ball Johnson coalition. We're gonna come through without nothing playing.
How about it? I'm gonna charge all of your tea sippers, crumpet dunkers, tea brewers, and pot stirrers, honey. I'm going to charge you guys to do this. Read the tea leaves, honey. I want you guys to put together your own proposal and send it to me. Put together what you think what your leaders should look like. What do you think should the leaders be? And I want more than one. Don't give me no one size fit motherfucking all.
It gotta be a mixing bowl. It gotta be a mixing bowl.
Size don't fit all, damn it.
Right.
That's another thing about our leaders that's on my list. You can't sit up here trying to do every goddamn thing, child.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You gotta ask Trojan and you gotta ask Magnum. One size don't fit all.
And neither do those.
Y'all, we love y'all. Go ahead, Meech, take us out.
Okay, so y'all do that. Send it to me. Y'all know how to find me and carrying on, honey. And things of that nature, child. Come here to the Facebook and leave it there. Go to the YouTube page if you're watching this on YouTube, and we'll go there. We're gonna pick this back up again soon because hey, child, we could talk about this all night. So we're gonna end this here. And if you love me, tell a friend, honey. If you hate me, do what? Tell an enemy. But do know this. Anyway, shape, style, form, or fashion, honey, everything that we're doing right here will move forward, honey. All right. Just all of your crumpets, darling, because the tea has been dished and you've been dishing tea, darling. With Big Meech and Aunt Nikki and the big guy, ally, honey, big red fellow over there.
Good night, y'all.
We will get back with you real soon, honey, child.
This shit gonna be going on for a long time, so we're gonna have a lot to say. See y'all.
See you later.